What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for the conversation today. And I didn't think I would have to cover this damn topic, but the Italian FA is the gift that keeps on giving right now. So it's absolutely insane what's going on. So big up to everybody who's stopping by for the conversation. Big up Chike. Appreciate it, my guy. Mateo, big up, Mateo. I wonder if you're going to be on fire like it was the other day when you were just going ham. Gianni Mancini is the new coach of Italia. Big up Quaja. Big up Quaj every time. And big up my bro, Natster, my fucking guy, my bro. I will put the link in the chat soon. I just want to cover this real quick before we go into the transfer talk and everything else, because obviously the big talking point is all the crazy news that us Italians just like to keep adding drama because we're a bunch of fucking dumbass greaseballs over there. So let me give you guys the breakdown of what's really going on, because there's a lot of things here that people are misconstruing and trying to overplay, right? Here's basically what happened. All right. Leonardo, who is a buddy of Maldini, was brought in by Malago, the newly voted president of the Italian FA, was voted in, and Malago's decision was to allow Maldini to be the technical director, to possibly be the new front runner to run everything with what's going on, right? Big up Luke. Trust me, I'm going to break down everything of what's going on, Luke. Don't you worry. You're not going to hear any bullshit from me. I'm going to tell it exactly like it is, because there's too many fucking people out here lying about the entire situation of what's going on with the Italian national team. So don't worry. So pretty much what happened is that when you look at the scenario of what's going on with Italy, Maldini and Leonardo basically wanted to give Pirlo the job and thought that Pirlo would be a guy that could potentially, again, potential here, could potentially be a decent manager for the Italian national team. But once again, thought that Pirlo could potentially be a project manager. Now, I don't know about you guys, but there should be no such thing as a fucking project manager of a national team, especially not for fucking Italy. What's interesting about this whole thing is Malago got pissed off about it because he wanted Mancini, and apparently from what the understanding was that Mancini was going to get the job, but Pirlo and Leonardo were still going to lead the reconstruction of the Italian FA and try to start the charge of changing everything, right? The problem is that Mancini never got a call. And I'm sorry, Mancini, Conte deserved to get a call at least for notification that they would not be getting the job to Pirlo. Instead, Maldini and Leonardo took it upon themselves to hire Pirlo. No conversation with Malago was even suggested, which has led to this whole debacle. Okay? Now, here's the thing that I disagree with people for, because you're hearing people talk about, oh, well, Maldini should not have picked up his toys and cried like a bitch because his boy Pirlo didn't get the fucking job. I'm sorry, Maldini, I hear you. You were betrayed at AC Milan and everything else. But the problem at the end of the day that needs to be talked about is, what the fuck are you doing hiring one of your boys to be the manager of Italy when he's not even the best in class as far as the ones that are being there, right? And for all of those people, you got some idiots out here that are all Juventus fans talking about, oh, Pirlo will be a good hire. No, he won't. No, he won't. Pirlo got fourth place with Juventus when he was force-feeding Cristiano Ronaldo in his last year in Italy. That's the only reason why Juventus got fourth place. It's the only reason why Juventus won a Coppa Italia and why Juventus won the Supercoppa d'Italia walking into that year. That's it. Because this is the same fucking idiot that thought it was a brilliant idea to play 4-4-2, have Locatelli. He's the one that started this whole nonsense of misprofiling Locatelli as a 6 rather than the 8 position, which he really was at Sassuolo, which gained his notoriety throughout Europe when Roberto De Zerbi was playing him as a number 8 in a double pivot with Maxime Lopez. Now, he decides to put him as a 4-4-2. He decides to play 4-4-2. He's going to be the number 6, which it didn't work, clearly, as you saw them, Juventus get embarrassingly knocked out of the Champions League again. But this is the same idiot that said, oh, well, I got Alvaro Morata. I'm going to play him as left wing. Huh? You're going to play Alvaro Morata at left wing, Chiesa at right wing, and play Dybala and Cristiano Ronaldo as the two strikers. And Ronaldo did not want to play hold-up striker the whole time because that's the exact same reason why Ronaldo and everybody else bitched to get Sarri out of the fucking team, because Sarri wanted Ronaldo to be a number 9. And what a lot of people forget about is that Ronaldo originally agreed to play a number 9 in a 4-3-3, and then came training camp and then cried and bitched and had to go back to the 4-4-2 diamond midfield. So Pirlo has no backbone as a manager in the first place, number one. Number two, he's not even the best available. I'm sorry. Rafa Palladino has done more, because everybody seems to forget as soon as Pirlo got sacked from Juventus, he's been a shit manager everywhere else he's gone. So again, people are talking about, oh, I don't agree with Mancini now getting the job because it still shows corruption. I'm sorry, brother. People need to wake up, because you're talking about, oh, Pirlo's getting, and because people are saying, oh, it's an excuse to get Pirlo out of the job because of being tied to Russia for a gambling thing. I'm sorry, bro. When was the last time you paid attention to Italian politics? Outside of France and England, Italy is the next most anti-Russian fucking country when it comes to the politics right now, with everything going on between the Russia and Ukrainian situation. Italy is more anti-Russia than anything else. So whether it's within 16 days or 2 years down the line, if you don't think that Russian thing would have been the card to get pulled as an excuse to fire Pirlo, whether he did a shit job at the Euros or right now, it was going to happen. So, and I'm not even going to get into all the politics of all that, because it's a bunch of fucking nonsense that it's even involved in football. Why do we care about what's going on between Russia and Ukraine when it comes to Italian football? First of all, Maldini should be taking some blame on his own, because one, for you not to do enough fucking due diligence when you're trying to hire somebody and not know that, I'm sorry, brother, you fucked up. And the fact that you, oh, my boy isn't going to get the job, I'm just going to pick up and leave. Sorry, brother, you sound weak right now. And I hate to say that, because you, for me, are easy top 10, possibly top 5 greatest players to ever play this fucking sport. But for you to cry and bitch like that immediately is actually a little horrific to see, that somebody who's as great as you are on the sport, and as great as of a mind that you are with how you resurrected AC Milan, is a bit of a disgrace that you just picked up everything you had and walked away because you were upset that your boy got exposed for being tied to Russia. Sorry, brother. I'm not buying this bullshit here. Now, the biggest problem at the end of the day is I don't agree that that's the excuse for Pirlo. They should have just flat out came out and said, Pirlo, you're not good enough to be the manager of the Italian national team. Sorry. Milagro, who's the president, overstepped and told Maldini that this isn't going to happen, which again, everybody knew coming into this that Milagro wanted Mancini to be the manager. And even all the people who comment on the Italian national team that I normally disagree with because they don't talk about the political problems within the Italian FA, all agree that Mancini's the best man for the job. So why are we complaining that Mancini ended up getting the job anyways? This is what I don't understand. Yes, you could say, oh, Pirlo got disrespected in what happened. That shouldn't mean anything. And I agree with you. It shouldn't mean anything. But at the end of the day, Pirlo should have never got the fucking job. The same reason that Pirlo got the job is the same reason for all the other political bullshit. Why are the AC Milan buddies hiring one another if he's not the best in class? If Pirlo was all that we had to offer, then here, I get it. You hired the best one that we had to offer. Pirlo's not even top 5. He's not even top 5 coaches that are available for Italian football. He's not. He's not. And I don't even like the other guys. But if we're talking about as a coach, what level he's at, he's the worst one available. He's the worst one available. So why are we even looking at this stupid shit? Zaniolo's career, Tibbsy, is because of injuries. That's what happened with him. That's what happened with him. His injuries have ran himself into the ground to the reason why that he's ended up at Udinese. Now, the good thing is he's kind of had a resurrection this last year at Udine, and I hope that he gets to do it again because he's still young enough to where he is a talented player. I hope that with Udinese for another year, he'll be able to get back into the rhythm that he was at Roma and can actually potentially see out his potential. But it is what it is. The only real positive light for Italian managers is my manager, Enzo Maresca. No, there's plenty of others. There's plenty of others, Luke. Again, that's just because that in Italy, people aren't hearing about them. You have Vincenzo Italiano, you have Rafa Palladino, again, Mancini. Conte, who I don't even like that, even though he was just my manager at Napoli. I do not want him becoming the manager of the Italian national team. But Conte deserves an opportunity at the job more than Pirlo's ass does. Again, Pirlo's got his trophies because of force-feeding Cristiano Ronaldo. It wasn't too complicated to see how he got his trophies. Beyond that, he's not that good of a fucking manager. Italy missing multiple World Cups is absolute. It's absolutely blasphemy. Yeah, it is, but the problem is it's self-inflicted, Tibbs. So we have nobody to blame but ourselves. The worst part is the lack of vetting. How could Mancini not known about Pirlo's links with that Russian? How could Maldini not have known about Pirlo's links with the Russian betting firm? Manny, that's exactly my point. They're boys from back in the day. They're boys from back in the day from fucking. They're boys from back in the day from playing with each other and winning trophies together at AC Milan. Like, you didn't know that? And again, if you look at the state of Italian politics in Italy, Giorgia Meloni was talking about being one of the first countries in Europe to opening up the markets to the Russian market if there was going to be breaking of any piece of what's going on. Since then, Meloni has done a complete 180 in Italy and has become very anti-Russian. So if you think that wasn't going to play out, whether now or in the future against Pirlo, had he had a negative result, it was. So the fact that we're getting gung-ho about this, yeah, because of how fast it was from the hire of Maldini to the sacking of to Maldini walking away, not even getting sacked, but the walking away from Maldini, it is what it is. It is what it is. This Russian shit was going to come out either way, whether them Italians like it or not. Who's available that would take Italy forward? The guy that we just hired, Mancini. Because this is the funny thing about a lot of these people. This is the funny thing about a lot of these people who are talking about this situation, but once again, aren't telling you the truth. When Roberto Mancini, before Spain won this World Cup, Roberto Mancini's Italy is the one that went 37 games unbeaten. Not the Marcello Lippi team that won the World Cup in 06, not the Italy team that won the World Cup in 82, not the Italian teams that went back-to-back in the 30s. Roberto Mancini's open attacking play Italy team is the team that fucking set the record of 37 games unbeaten. The 4-3-3 open attacking Italian team was the team that set the record for the longest undefeated streak by a national team before Spain just did it by winning this World Cup. So anybody who's going to sit here and say Mancini isn't the guy, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, especially because this is something that nobody talks about. Mancini is the one that told the youth academies and everything else, start playing 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 so that we can adapt and play the open attacking style, which is what we've been asking for Italy to change its ways. Guess what happened? Mancini gets them to the 4-3-3. Right after we won the Euros, the greaseballs came back and said, nope, go back to the 3-5-2. So the FA was undermining Mancini the whole fucking time because, once again, you can only win and be successful as the Italian manager as long as you listen to the rest of the assholes and bureaucrats that are running this fucked up Italian national team. And the reason why Mancini is such a polarizing person is because Mancini don't give a fuck. And he told everybody, go fuck yourselves. The best way going forward is us playing open attacking football. And lo and behold, we won a fucking Euro. We ain't won. That's our first European championship since 68. And everybody just wants to say, oh, Mancini's a dinosaur. Get the fuck out of here. You have no idea what you're even talking about with that bullshit. Exactly. Project manager is for teams like Canada, not fucking Italy. Not fucking Italy one way or another. It's ridiculous. Yes, Palladino. So Palladino started at Monza. He kept Monza mid-table for 2 years and then went to Fiorentina and got Fiorentina into the Europa Conference League again. And then he took over Atalanta nearly halfway through the season last year. Atalanta made a very bad choice and hired Ivan Juric as the manager and switched Atalanta's entire style of play from open attacking to pragmatic. And then Palladino got there and said, we're going to go right back to what Atalanta is known for, which is open attacking play. And he got Atalanta from 16th all the way back up to finishing 7th, and even had them in the semifinal of the Coppa Italia as well. Palladino is one of the best young Italian managers in Italy right now. And I'll be honest with you, I hope he ends up at Napoli and that we sack Allegri. So that's my feeling on him. My man, Kyle Walsh, my man, every fucking time. I hope all is well with you, brother. I hope your summer's going by. I hope your summer's been good, brother. I hope everything is all as well with you, my guy. I'm here to respectfully listen to what my greatest national team ops have going on behind this. Hey, c'est comme ça. C'est très merde. C'est très merde. C'est très merde. Fuck Pirlo, fuck them all, Viva Italia. You're right about that. Big up Abaji. Oh, we'll be Gunnar SC. We will be getting into this. We will be getting into this about the transfer window. Trust me, we are going to not hold any punches about that bullshit too. Trust me on that. But big up Gunnar SC. My guy Suge. You can say this man is not. My man. Yes, he did. Yes, he did, Manny. And I'll be honest with you, Zaniolo's one of the best young talents. The problem is he got ran into the ground too quickly at Rome. So it is what it is. Zaniolo's a decent player, and he's been very good at Udinese. I'm very interested to see him this year. If he is another year like he just had at Udinese, I wouldn't be surprised about Zaniolo going to one of the bigger teams in Italy or going back to England again, if I'm being quite honest with you. Big up, Ali Nuwani. Appreciate you stopping by for the conversation. I would not go too far of saying Italy is going to cook France, but what I will say is this. I do think that Italy down the line with Mancini at the helm, and if Mancini's going to run this the same way that he did before, you're going to see the best 23-man roster for Italy, and you're not going to see him allowing the politics to prevent Italy from winning like he did previously as the manager. Yeah, Enzo, listen, man, I think Enzo Maresca's got a big thing coming this year with Chelsea. I honestly think either City's going to walk the league or it might blow up in Maresca's face. I really don't think it's either or, to be honest with you, Luke, but we'll see what ends up happening, because I still think City's the biggest threat to Arsenal as far as the league is concerned, in my honest opinion. Save money just in case I need to replace a few screens, brother. I hear that, Kyle. I hear that, Kyle. He is Centurion. Everybody likes to disrespect Mancini. At the beginning of last summer, when I first started, hopping on Aaron's channel, shout out to Aaron Talks Arsenal, and the first few times that Shane Gunnar was having me on and we were talking about it, I've openly said I would take Roberto Mancini at Arsenal. The guy, people can say whatever they want. The man took over Al Sadd in the Qatari League more than halfway through the season. They were in 5th place. He turned them around and won the Qatari League and knocked out Al Hilal in the Asian Champions League. The guy is a good manager. People just don't realize this. The man has won 5 league trophies throughout his time and a ton of domestic cups. The man's won the Premier League. He's won 3 Scudettes. He's won 4 Coppa Italias, won an FA Cup. He won a double with Al Sadd. The guy's a good manager, man. I just don't understand why people throw so much disrespect. And he's won on the international level. Big up Toronto Gunnar. Big up Toronto Gunnar. Big up, man. Ivan Juric sucks as a manager. Trust me. Ivan Juric sucks as a manager. He was good. He was good for 1 year. He was good for one time when he was at fucking Hellas Verona and scouted some young talent like Matthias Zaccagni, Amrabat, that made an appearance at United for a season, was mostly at Fiorentina. If you look at Rahmani at Napoli, he was a 2-time Scudetto winning center back. He came from that Hellas Verona team. Juric is the same guy that got Giovanni Simeone scoring goals. He was top 5 goal scorers in Italy one year while he was at Verona. So for me, I just, he was good for his time for that team, but besides that team, he's just been a shit manager. Atalanta have always had talented players. I have a soft spot for Udinese, so rate Samardzic. Listen, Samardzic I like a lot. I like him. I like Del Ketelaere. The guy Ederson that Manchester United missed out on, I don't understand why they missed out on him like that. So it is what it is. Mancini is a top manager. Mancini, dude, the reason why a lot of people don't like Mancini is because Mancini's a typical hothead Italian that don't stand for bullshit. He doesn't stand for bullshit. So again, it's all depending if you're going to deal with the type of a guy that he is. If you can't deal with the type of guy that Mancini is, then that's on you. Again, Mancini's not going to pull any punches. He's going to do what's best for his team and everything else. I just put the link in the chat. Anybody who wants to hop on and talk some transfers and everything else, everybody's welcome. But yeah, for me, Ranieri, Mancini, do I like Ranieri? Not really. But if you're going to have to push an emergency button, then it is what it is with that. My man. Master, big up, Manny. Big up, Manny.
What up?
How's everything going on?
Yeah, I'm fucking roasting, man. Do you know what I'm saying? As you can see. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of them ones, isn't it?
Big up, guys.
Big up Chike, big up Manny.
Big up Nat.
Of course.
Big up Manny.
Every single time.
But
guys, big up.
What do you guys think of all this? What do you guys think of all this fucking madness? Italy's classic, aren't they? We just love the drama.
I was just gonna say, I don't know. See, Fabrizio treated it, and I'm hesitant to trust. I'm hesitant to go by what Fabrizio said and says, because I'm going to be honest. Fabrizio is not a journalist. The guy's a content creator. Because if he was a journalist, he would work for a place he would work for a place that gets a lot of he would work for reliable sources. He doesn't do that. He plays the internet game, Fabrizio. And I just don't see, I really, when you said it, Gianni, I was like, okay, the one person I actually can go by off is the guy that needs to get 500 subs. So thank God, Roberto Mancini. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, thank God Roberto Mancini is in charge of Italy.
Yeah, I don't get it. A lot of these guys that have been talking about Italian football are in meltdown because of what happened as far as, Pirlo's been sacked, now Maldini's picking up, and they're all worried about it. Again, this is what I mean by these guys are paid actors who talk about this shit. Nobody talks about the fact that Mancini, day one, Mancini took over the Italian national team. He went to all the youth coaches. He told them, stop this 3-4-3. Stop the 5-4-1. I want everybody playing 4-3-3. I want everybody playing possession, open attacking football. This is what it needs to take for Italy to progress into the next realm and to change around our fortunes. And look what happens. Lo and behold, 2 years later from day one, he won the fucking Euros. But again, because he doesn't stand for bullshit and he told everybody in that FA to go fuck themselves, literally 2 weeks after they won the Euros, everybody in the youth academy, scrap that. Go back to the 3-5-2. Go back to the 3-4-3. We're going to go back to the Italian defensive bullshit. We're our own worst enemy when it comes to this. And again, I'm sorry, people are upset about how shit's gone down with the whole Pirlo thing. Again, if you know Italian politics and you're in Italy, the only two countries that hate Russia more than Italy is England and France. That's it.
Right.
That's it. So if you didn't think that Russian shit was going to get used against Pirlo now, it would have been further down the line. Because here's the other thing. How can you have a coach be a part of a betting firm?
What?
Where does this make any type of sense?
A betting firm?
He was tied to he was a part of a Russian betting firm when it came as far as his sponsorships. He's gone all over the world as far as coaching, and he's been dog shit everywhere since he left Juventus. So he got tied to a Russian betting firm. Why do you think it would be okay to be a head of a professional team and you're going to be a part of a betting firm? That doesn't sound shady to you that he may, hey, guys, drop the points so that we can all get paid. So you're basically saying you're the older version of Sandro Tonali, stupid ass, at that point. Like, what the fuck we doing here with this stupid shit?
Even Grobbelaar back in the day was doing that shit. But, John, I've got to ask you this question, yeah? in 2 years' time, 2028, are you going to run it back once again for the Renegade Master and all that default
Yes.
damage with the ill
Again-
behavior?
I'm telling you, we're running
if-
it back,
if
Gianni.
If the right
Don Dada
right
Mancini,
team,
bro.
if the right team is put out there and we're all healthy, I do think there's a possibility of us winning it. Again, funny enough that Manny hopped on, and I appreciate Manny hopping on. We were talking about this a couple hours ago when he was asking me,
wow.
who would you put together for your starting 11 under Mancini? And as I was naming the 11 for him, I'm looking at it and I'm like, you know, if you look at this 11 that Italy has and you look at the shit that we saw for some of these teams in the World Cup, Italy's best 11 should still be making a quarterfinal, possibly a semifinal, even in this day and age. So
100%.
this is why I'm saying I wouldn't be shocked if we went and won the Euros. Again, and shout out to my boy Reno Zed. I did a show on his show when we were talking about the original when Pirlo initially got Pirlo initially got the job. I said, bro, I go, if you look at the best 11, the best 23 men that Italy has, and you replace them with Bosnia, because Bosnia was the one that knocked us out, we would have been put in their spot. You can't tell me the best 23-man Italian team wouldn't have slapped the fuck out of the U.S., especially with Pochettino playing that stupid 3-5-2.
3-5-2
Italy would have slapped the fuck out of the U.S. Or if you'd have switched them with Canada, we'd have slapped the shit out of whoever Canada played. So
Morocco,
again,
I think it was. Or Morocco and South Africa.
Morocco, they would have killed South Africa.
No, not South Africa. It was Morocco, Switzerland, and also Bosnia.
Oh, you're
No,
talking
who
about
did they
the
have
group
in the
stage?
first round of the knockouts?
Yeah, I was about to say
Oh, in
it
the
was South
knockouts, it was
Africa that
Morocco.
Canada got, and then they lost to Morocco in the round of 16.
Yeah. Daniel Gillis, my guy. Appreciate it.
Big up,
Appreciate
Daniel.
it. Everything's all good.
But no, yeah,
Thanks.
Gianni. If
Thanks.
Italy,
I hope Italy is
World
treating you well. I know we've messaged behind. I will have the list of places for you to check out in Napoli tomorrow for you.
Let's go.
You
No, I'm
seem
just
to
gonna
go
say,
there
if
very
Italy had made
frequently
the
when you
World
have a
Cup-
holiday.
He said Pirlo and Tonali actually do look alike. Yeah, that's the
They
funny
kind of do. I'm seeing a resemblance, which is saying a lot. But no, if Italy got their shit together, I guarantee you they could have at least made a semifinal because 100% they beat the shit out of the U.S. And I guarantee you, if they would have made the World Cup, they definitely would have played. I think they would have played Canada's group,
If
and they
you-
easily could have gone to a quarter or
If you-
semifinal.
Yeah. If you can't tell me if you put the best 23-man roster together that Italy doesn't beat both the United States and Belgium. We make the court. We'll lose to Spain. I don't think we would be able to beat Spain again, not in the current running of what it is, but we get that far. A quarterfinals for Italy with what we've been doing so far would be like a World Cup final for me. If we made a quarterfinals with this team. But again, the problem is you don't pick the best team. So how can you expect to do anything if you don't pick the best team?
Right.
So
It's not rocket science.
That for me is the whole thing as far as that. So it's all nonsense. It's all nonsense with what's been
So,
going on.
Gianni, if I can just cut right in here. Obviously, listen, I want to really thank you as well for engaging with me, and I love speaking with you about all things Italy, not just football. I actually think that you should do a second channel where you talk about all things Italy, like the history, the culture, the food,
Absolutely.
and why you lot are so, very fiercely protective of your regional cuisines. No flavorless northern food for you. It's all about the Neapolitan delicacies. I don't want to go there. But listen, the reason why I was asking you that question about what would be your starting 11 under Mancini is, obviously, when you won the Euros, you had sort of a set 11 which, did their job to perfection. There was no Gigi Buffon. Donnarumma had taken his place, and he was, I wouldn't say, world beaten, but he did well enough to make sure that he got his flowers in the end. Cellini was still, defending really well. You had Jorge Theo, who of course went on to play for Arsenal not too long afterwards. He was running the strings in midfield. Such a shame his game went to the Bogs after that. So you talk about the 11 that you would pick, and it was some interesting picks there. I was actually asking you about one or two players who I thought would also have been good enough to make your team. But then, how would you actually compare the 11 that you pick to the set 11 that won the Euros? Because I think only Donnarumma is one of the few players from the 2021 vintage that's still here in the squad. There might be one or two others. Do you see them actually recreating that style really and actually doing better than that 2021 vintage.
Yeah, 100%. Well, this is how the question is the center backs. Now, for me, the reason why I left Bastoni off the list is because we have no idea what the fuck is going to happen with him. We have no idea what's going to happen with Bastoni as far as the prostitution ring and all that other shit that's been going on behind the scenes. We have no idea what's actually happening with Bastoni. So that's why I left him off that team. For me, I think you're going to play. I don't see us playing anything different than that same brand of football. The Mancini's team is very easy to look at how it worked. He had Di Lorenzo basically play as a third center back to protect Chiellini and Bonucci from a counterattack, which for me, Michael Coyote, yeah, he's good for throwing the ball far if you're talking about throw-ins and shit. Crossing the ball, he's okay. Defensively, though, he's a very sound defensive-minded right back. So I would do the exact same thing and leave Coyote as that defensive right back, and you have Gatti or possibly even Mancini, but you have it basically still being a back line of three to protect you in case a counterattack comes. But again, you let DeMarco have free reign like Spinazzola had at that Euros. Because here's the thing, if you look at it, before the injury, Spinazzola was the best player of the tournament. Spinazzola was ripping everybody apart with Italy before he fucked up his Achilles against Belgium. That was it. He was the best. He was arguably the best player in the tournament. When you look at what DeMarco's been doing for Inter, you don't want him to have any defensive things unless, obviously, if you're getting pinned back, you need him to. But you're talking about a guy who's a left wing back that just had 7 goals and 18 assists in Italy last year. So if we're talking about the overall problem, the biggest problem Italy has is not scoring goals. So that's why that's the whole reason why I want Mancini as the manager, because he's the only manager that's going to preach open attacking football to allow us to have an opportunity at scoring more goals. Again, Pirlo played a 4-4-2. All Pirlo did, everybody passed the ball to Ronaldo. That was Pirlo's game plan. Everybody just passed the ball to Ronaldo. And then you look at the other person who they're considering. What the fuck is Antonio Conte going to bring to this national team that's no different than what we've seen in the past?
Right. And I love how you spoke about letting DeMarco have free reign and using Coyote as a third centre-back. So invariably what you end up having is kind of 3 at the back and maybe sort of something like a 3-4-3. But what you've got there by picking this team is that you've got some fluidity that you can sort of like work with the team and sort of work with it depending on who the opposition is. I was hoping that Tommy Tuchel would be that guy for England in the World Cup, and we all knew that he won the Champions League with Chelsea playing the 3-4-3. But he seemed to abandon all of that. And look, I did like Tuchel when he was appointed, but he now has to really use this third place as a springboard to do well in the Nations League and the Euro qualifiers, and then we'll see. But obviously, as I said to you in the chat, Gianni, Mancini is going to be on a bit of a hiding to nothing. But I suppose it's fair to say that the players that you've selected would certainly, do the job. You say that you want Pellegrini to play the number 10, sort of in the center of the midfield.
Manny, when you look at the game when we played Northern Ireland, the only reason we scored is because Tonali had a fantastic volley because Northern Ireland couldn't fucking clear the ball. There was no creativity in the middle. If you go back and watch the 90 minutes against Northern Ireland and then the full extra time and penalty shots with us in Bosnia, there is no creativity in the middle. That's why you cannot have, and again, you have Locatelli playing the 6. Locatelli's best is box to box. That's what he became famous for. That's why he got a $40 million move to Juventus, is because he was a box-to-box midfielder. Look at how Juventus has tried to convert him to a number 6, and they've been dog shit since because he can't play that position. And that's what I'm saying. For me, if you're going to play with a 4, for me, Italy's best thing is a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. It's either of those two positions for me. 4-4-2 with our players we cannot do because we don't have somebody that can really take that number 10 or false 9 and be there in and around to link play like that. That's why you need to have 4-3-3. But if you got 2 box-to-box midfielders that are going to add to your attack, and then you have the right back sitting back to aid out the defense, you still have a back 4 that's covering. That's why, for me, I don't get why people are trying to look at Pirlo or looking at these other managers. What are we doing that's different? And again, look at the difference of how Italy looked just within that tournament. Before Verratti came back from injury, the first 2 games, Locatelli was scoring goals as that late run into the box number 8 for Italy. And he was scoring goals. When Verratti came, Verratti does not score goals. Verratti is simply like what we say about Zubamendi being a metronome. That's all Verratti is. Verratti may score a goal here and there. He'll get assists. He'll pick out good passes. But he's not a guy that's going to add goals to it when you need a goal coming from the midfield. That's the whole reason why I want Pellegrini in there, because Pellegrini is creative and he also scores goals, and you can interchange. Pellegrini's played on the wing before. So if a winger's got to come into the middle to add pressure, he can float out to the wing and get into spaces that causes problems where he can create. We have no creativity in the middle.
So what you're saying, you want Pellegrini to do the Morgan Rogers role, which would be starting the 10 and then sort of float around here, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I like
yes. Exactly.
I'm glad I didn't say Mikel Merino. That guy doesn't have any creativity. Can't score goals yet.
Listen, the funny
he's a
thing
super
is,
sub.
Mikel Marino is going to be the super sub for Arsenal and should be the backup striker this year, so we can get rid of Havertz. Because I'd rather deal with Marino than fucking Havertz and Havertz.
Any day, any fucking day.
Any day of the week and every day on Sunday.
Yeah, man.
Gio Leone is really good. From what we've seen from him in the underage development, he's been very, very good. Captain of Italy, maybe, but if injuries are avoided, he's going to be a top talent center back. Same thing with the 22-year-old that's at Atalanta right now, Scalvini. He's a fantastic center back as well, who I think Arsenal should be looking at as the new center back that we got assigned since Saliba's hurt. So enough of that. Enough of the Italian national team, because we ran 37 minutes on almost 38 minutes. Fellas, wow. How shit is this fucking transfer window of Arsenal?
And I'm a City fan. We spent
Go
£116
ahead.
You got listen, Chike. You got no room to talk right now, because if you guys lose Rodri, you guys may not make top 4 this year.
No.
I have a theory on this, guys. I have a theory, right? Yeah, we brought Berta in for this exact reason, yeah. But I always knew that most of the fan base would get on his back. But here's the issue that we have, yeah. He got rid of half of that cartel board that David Dean was talking about. Big up fucking David Dean each and every single time. The rest of them should have already fucked off. Why the fuck are they still there? Doing the same shit. Because even Guns alluded to it before. This shit has been going on for over 10 years, bruv. Overpaying for shit, holding on to dead wood and demanding premium prices for scrubs, yet we let our best players go on the cheap. And you can even add Trossard to that list as well. Because best believe, if that was Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, even fucking Man United and Tottenham, damn near relegated Tottenham, they would have got more than £15 million. Do you know what I'm saying? Arteta being manager instead of head coach is a big issue, but we knew that. That guy, clearly, from what we can tell, has way too much influence over transfers and contract negotiations, yeah? I don't know why we bought this Alonso guy from Granada, but if he's meant to be our chief negotiator or whatever, you know, the guy helping us get the deals done in the transfer market, help with the contracts and all of that, he's only just got through the door and he's already fucking failed, if that is his role. Berta's fucking up the base. Arteta been doing Arteta shit. He's going back to Lego head. And then you got Josh Kroenke thinking it's all fucking hunky-dory. I'm tired of this shit. You know, we it looks like we've lost out on Vinny. We already lost out on fucking Morgan Rogers, yeah? Now, if we were this elite level football club, if you miss out on targets, whatever the reason, it is what it is. But you got to be proactive, yeah? As far as I'm aware, Conceição's still available. 40, 50 mil, get it done, bruv. Get it fucking done. If you're not going to buy Vinny,
euros, not pounds.
Yeah, if you're not going to buy Vinny or Morgan Rogers, well, Morgan Rogers is done anyway, that's fine. Go get Conceição. Go get other players in the midfield. You mentioned Ederson earlier, yeah? If we don't get Bruno G, get Ederson for 30, 40 mil. 50 mil, however much it's going to cost.
It was 40 million euros is what Atalanta wanted for him, was 40 million euros. The add-ons, I think, maybe totaled 50 million. So basically 45 to 47.5 million pounds. Who Ederson's been one of the best defensive midfielders in Italy for the last few years with what he's been doing with Atalanta.
Yeah, right. So why can't we get that done then? If we're not going to go for Krupi, fight, we've got, you know, you can get Trincao can play on either side. You got Conceição.
He left. He's gone. We missed out on him.
Oh, he went to Saudi, innit?
He went to Saudi because we didn't come in for him.
Yeah. So,
how do you let Trincao go for that cheap, but then you sign Noni Madueke to be a backup for the amount of money? Like the thing that pisses me off with Arsenal is that people just think that money grows on trees and that none of this shit should be affecting us because we have record amount of fucking revenue. What people fail to realize is even if you have record revenue for 2 years, that revenue is not really getting pumped into the team because you have to pay off all the losses that you've had in the past.
And now it's catching up.
This is what's so funny that people don't realize.
And don't forget, there's going to be a tax bill to be paid to His Majesty's Revenue and Customs as well.
Yeah, exactly. But like, here's the thing that people forget. If you look at last year we spent over 280 million euros in the transfer market for Arsenal. We only made 13 million. So you basically took a net loss of 267 million euros. Now, watch how funny this is. Arsenal, through all the sponsorships, got 200 million pounds from winning the league with all the sponsorships they have. If you turn it around, the entire money that you had winning the league has to go back to the beginning of the year and pay off all the fucking transfers that you spent money on. And that doesn't even include the salary, which is what I think is absolutely mind-blowing. Our salary base is 191 million pounds. And that started from last year. So you not only were down almost 270 million euros when you look at it, which I think in the changeover, it's around 260 million pounds. But on top of that, even if you take the money that you won with, you're still 60 million behind and you still got a full salary. Now, when you consider what the salary is with the bonuses, and the bonuses include winning the Premier League, our salary goes from 191 million pounds to, with bonuses, it's nearly 240. So at the end of the day, you're 300 million in the hole and you still haven't sold nobody yet, but you're already spending money again. This is why we're not buying big players right now.
And this goes back to, failure to prepare equals prepare to fail. How many times have we seen this where this fucking football club fails to do we're not even asking for miracles. Well, we fucking need one now. We're asking for the bare fucking minimum yet. Don't buy scrubs, and if you are going to buy scrubs, don't put them on top dollar and don't overpay for them. Don't overpay for them. We would have been better keeping Reece Nelson, yeah? Plus, we still got Ethan and Max Dowman, yeah? Who can play on either side, but mainly on the right.
But brother, he's still here. He's part of the problem.
Exactly.
How is Reece Nelson?
Fabio Vieira is still here.
How is Reece Nelson at 100,000 pounds? How is Reece Nelson at 100,000 pounds?
It's a fucking joke. We were actually lucky to get rid of Nketiah when we already had two teams in West Ham and Wolves at the time. We turned them down. Matty, big up Matt, Southern Gooner, yeah? He brought up an article about, what is it, in the 23-24 season or whatever, yeah? We had an offer from Palmeiras, yeah? His home nation, to buy him for 40 mil. We fucking turned it down.
Yeah.
That cartel board needs to fuck right off, bruv. You know, look, at this point, we'd be better off with 5'10" Saul Goodmans, bruv. Better call Saul and all that shit. Like,
look what they're doing now. They're talking. They don't want to sell Gabby Jesus unless they get 20 million pounds. Who the fuck is paying 20 million pounds for that?
On them wages, brother. And this is the problem.
Exactly.
When you put players that don't deserve to be on top dollar on fucking top dollar. Yeah. This is an absolute shit show. We're going to get a reality check. The reason why I didn't lose my shit earlier, outside of it being the World Cup and England got to the semis, we should have at least got to the final. I knew we weren't going to win it, but we should have at least got to the final. But it is what it is, FIFA and all that shit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like we're 3 weeks away, 2-3 weeks away from the start of the season. We've only sold basically Trossard and Kivior, and that's about it. I was more concerned with the outgoings than the ingoings. Do you know what I'm saying? I was way more concerned with that because you get rid of Havertz, you get rid of Odegaard, you get rid of Jesus, yeah? You can add Calafiori, Madueke. If you can't sell him this summer, how many times did I say it last season and in the summer? Loan his ass, and then Enla Basura, bin his bomber clerk. Do you know what I'm saying? With his clown shoes and clown car, living in Lego La La Land and all that bollocks. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm fucking sick of this bullshit. I'm fucking sick of this bullshit. This club fails to learn time and time again that it's all well and good making that revenue. I ain't no businessman, but I have a very, very basic fundamental, knowledge in terms of how it works because I used to run one, at least for a little bit. I was a manager.
Bro, I'll give you look at this is actually in big up to.
Wow, nice job, man. I know you ran a business. Big up, man.
Not run the. I was managing the business. I didn't own the business. I just want to make that crystal clear. But
just real quick, because Nuani brings up a funny point that I've brought up in a couple of chats. If you look at the Solis signing. The Solis signing is a clear indication that we don't have the money to spend right now. We're trying to figure out what's going on. We sold Trossard for 15 million pounds. The add-ons could potentially get us to 20 mil. We could potentially get 20 million for Trossard. But we're looking at it for face value right now. We got 15. Solis was 34. That's $19 million that you still have to pay for Solis that's on your books. Now, watch how funny these guys are and how slick they try to be. Trossard was on 180,000 pounds a week. They gave Solis half of what Trossard was getting. They put him on 90,000 pounds a week because the other 90, if you equate 90,000 pounds a week, it's roughly around 4.4 million. So they're hoping that for the 5 years that they're there, that the Trossard money that they cut off pays for Solis's books. So if you're hoping that a salary removal is paying for somebody's books in general, that means you have no fucking money. That means you're trying to figure out where you're going to finesse this money into everything else. Because again, what people fail to realize is the last 3 transfer windows, we have spent crazy money. We have nearly spent 800 million on the last 3 transfer windows when you look at all the players that we have brought in over these last 3 years. And really, you can go 4 years. When you start adding in the likes of Rice, Eze, 60-some-odd fucking million. Gyökeres, 60-some-odd fucking million. So again, and then you look at the situation with Vinny. Listen, I want Vinicius Jr. to come to Arsenal. But how are you going to get Vinny to come to this team when he wants $500,000 a fucking week and you still got Odegaard and fucking Jesus sitting here and Havertz?
But this is the problem when you put everyone on top dollar. We've only got I swear, we've only got 6 or 7, give or take, players that are on less than 100k a week. That's disgraceful. That is absolutely disgraceful. If this is any other sector in life, if this was a Championship, League 1, League 2, running this ship, this club would have folded years ago. If it wasn't for Arsenal being Arsenal, we'd be in liquidation. We'd be where Palace were, innit, with Simon Jordan. We're basically running the football club how Simon Jordan ran it with Palace. And the reason why it failed? Because he didn't have the capital. It's very, very fucking simple. You don't need a business degree. You don't need to help, manage a business, own a business, whatever. That's just common fucking sense, This cartel board don't give a shit. We know that. They're outdated and clearly they can't move with the times. And it's been that way for 10 plus years. Why are they here? Get rid of them. Andrea Berta, I'm looking at him sideways, bruv. Yes, he's been put in an impossible position. Yes, he's being made the scapegoat right here, right now, Fatboy Slim settings. We knew this, But at the same time, this is the time, This is the time, The time is now, word to Moloko, The time is right now, bruv, That Andrea Berta needs to get a grip, get a hold of Mikel Arteta, bruv. Get him away from transfers, get him away from contract negotiations, because like you said, Gianni, and you were right all along, we don't have the money, but it's clear for everyone to see. No one can deny it now. If you expect the Solis deal, in the next 5 years just to pay off Trossard, and that's all you're thinking about right now, rather than the other players just selling them for, as much as you can. But here's the thing. Arsenal are taking the piss, bruv. Yeah, big up Tigray. Look at Leicester City, bruv. It's not like Leicester didn't have money, but they didn't manage it well. And you look at the situation that we're in, right? Yeah? If it's true that we're demanding 20 mil for Jesus, yeah? Your head's gone, bruv.
They're demanding 20 mil for Jesus. The article that I saw today from Di Marzio was Parma. Last year, Parma got Carlos Cuesta, the former assistant coach to Mikel Arteta last year. Last year was his first year at Parma. He kept them up and actually did a decent job with keeping them up. He tried coming to get Fabio Vieira for 12 million euros. They said no. So now he actually had a good year with Hamburg. Hamburg said they're not paying what Arsenal want. So what are you going to do? You're just going to sit here and let this guy say, okay, he's on 40,000 a week. It's no big deal compared to others, but still it's the same fucking principle. If you're not moving the guy on, he's costing you fucking money. We all know Fabio Vieira ain't going to fucking play and shouldn't be given a play, because if he gets to play, that means Nwaneri's not going to play again. And now you got to worry about him getting sold. It's all bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit. Look at Kiwior. I think we made only $2 million in profit. And he was the best center back in fucking Portugal last year. And we didn't even know how to sell him properly. It's ridiculous. And exactly what you said. You cannot expect to make money on these guys because of these fucking wages. Nobody in there. Who the fuck is going to pay $30 million for Kai Havertz when they know they got to eat a $280,000 a week fucking bill? You're paying Kai Havertz $1 million a month, and it's base salary. That's not even with the fucking bonuses. Who the fuck's going to pay that for?
Odegaard. Who's going to pay Odegaard? Who's even going to pay fucking Madueke on 150k a week, bruv?
Brother, you remember that bullshit? You and me, I think we're talking about it on another stream, either on your channel or on my channel. You remember when they put that fucking tweet out talking about Arsenal wants 60 million for Odegaard? Who the fuck's paying that bump for 60 million?
No chance.
And then you're going to have to pay him more than what he's getting at Arsenal? Get the fuck out of here, man.
It's not happening, bro.
No idea what they're talking about with this shit.
He's not happening. And this is the problem. Most of our fan base, right, think it's all hunky-dory because we won the league. I was ecstatic when we all were ecstatic when we won the league. Cool. But in order to retain the league, you cannot move like this. City knows this. Even Chelsea, with different owners, they know this. United, they're already looking to strengthen even more. Liverpool. You saw what happened to Liverpool, yeah? You think that you think that won't happen to us? We're actually going to be worse. Don't be surprised if we don't get Champions League next season, bruv. And then it will be battle stations, guys.
Bro, what's the difference? What's the difference?
Get the fuck
what's
out
the
of here,
potential difference between Odegaard and Jesus potentially becoming the next Aubameyang? Same thing with Bukayo Saka. If Bukayo Saka has another 3 to 4 month injury coming into this year, who the fuck's going to buy Bukayo?
And that's another thing.
The good thing about Saka is he's homegrown, so anything is pure profit if you sell him, if you have to. Right?
Even Martinelli's pure profit, pretty much.
That's the one I don't understand why we haven't sold yet.
Yeah, why is he still here? Pure profit signing, get rid. And then we stop buying these useless, dumbass fucking players like Madueke, like Fabio Vieira, Lokonga, who we got rid of. What was it, for like 3-4 mil? We bought him for 17 mil.
No, we bought Lokonga for 17.5 million. We sold him for 300,000. We didn't get a million.
That was it. Oh shit, that's even yeah.
You took a 17, and that's what people don't understand is
disgrace.
You're taking these substantial losses, and they have to get compounded onto your books. So again, this is what people need to understand. I know people don't like the fact that football's become big business, but you have to learn the business in order to understand why your club isn't making any moves. I'm sorry. I'm going to be flat out with this. If we have money and Arteta's the one behind the scenes saying, I don't want these guys, it's his fucking fault that we don't repeat. Because for me, seeing how all these other teams are moving, it would not surprise me that if City lose Rodri to Manchester, if City don't lose Rodri to Real Madrid, you can't tell me within 2 days you wouldn't be surprised if Bruno Guimaraes pops up in fucking.
He'll probably end up at City because Chelsea have got Henderson, and it will probably end up being the case that Bruno G goes to City. Then what? Are we actually going to go in for an Ederson? a Kefram Turam as an example, someone of that ilk, even a Kone at this point, are we going to go in for him? Most likely no, because we don't know how to get business done when we need to. And most of these fans don't understand. Look, trust me, when it comes to next year, you know, after the end of the January transfer window, yeah, that's when it will be panic stations, because we'll probably be like 4th or 5th, maybe even 6th, and then they'll be like, we should have got rid of Havertz, we should have got rid of Odegaard, we should have got rid of Jesus. Madueke, if we couldn't sell him, loan. We were telling you for fucking years.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what player it is. Remember when Carl Jenkinson was on 70k a week, and he kept getting injured, yeah, whenever it was deadline day at the end of the summer, right? We would have all done the same shit. I'm injury prone anyway, so it is what it is, but we all would have done the same fucking shit, yeah? 70k a week. He didn't even deserve to be on 10k a week. How long ago was that? What, 10 years? Yeah? We had Dick Law as our chief negotiator. Fucking useless, especially towards the end, yeah? Alongside with Arsene Wenger. And then now, well, even just before, we had Edu and then Arteta becoming manager instead of should have staying as head coach, yeah? And now we've got Andrea Berta and Arteta still as manager, and the same shit is going on. Now it's worse because we've won the league. There are no coincidences, bro. This is an absolute shit show. It's a complete clusterfuck.
And that's also one reason, and I don't know if you guys are willing to agree with me on this, that's also potentially another reason why I'm not interested in having Vinny Jr. Because if you take a look at the trends when it comes to players who join our club, we've seen, history has witnessed to the fact that whenever a player joins our club, having had a perfect fitness record prior to joining us, not too long afterwards, they end up on the treatment table. And so what's the guarantee that Vinny Jr. is not going to end up, injury-free during his time with us? All of the compensation that we're going to have to pay, how it's going to hit us in the books finally. Can we really afford all of that? That's going to be another thing altogether. Not only do we not know how to sell players, we don't know how to, buy players. We don't even seem to know how to treat our players well. And under this manager, who is nothing but a sadistic, talent-killing butcher, don't be surprised if Vinny comes into the team, is forced to play on the left wing, but also being used as a left wing back, tracking back, doing all that rubbish, and he ends up getting injured. And then
he will definitely be playing as left wing back. That's a certainty. Yeah, that's the thing. Because this manager ain't changing. He's not changing, Manny.
But that's also the reason why you go out and sign a Vinicius Jr. is to combat that bullshit. Because Vinny ain't going to stand for that shit.
Oh, 100%.
Vinny,
that's why I want Vinny. That's the
exactly. That's exactly the reason why I want
Vinny. We've seen now how we're moving in the transfer window. This manager ain't changing. Obviously, the board ain't changing. And Andrea Berta's just in the middle, trying to make shit work, and it ain't working. You can't. He's trying to do his regular shit, trying to make up as much as he can, in the shit show that he's in. This ain't Atleti, my guy. This ain't all the previous clubs that you were at. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not that same situation. This is Arsenal in an absolute shit show, yeah?
Yep.
Like what he did with Tomiyasu, he's got to rip up a lot more contracts. And if you can't sell them and they're young-ish, like Madueke, loan him and then bin him the following season. We've got players that are injured as well. That's another problem. That's another fucking problem. We've got injured players now. A lot of them, because this manager, when he was doing Lego head things, decided to run them into the ground, and we only just got over the line with the league title, yeah? That's not happening this up-and-coming season, yeah?
No.
He's going to do the same shit, and we will slide down that table. I've been saying this, yeah? A bit delayed, but I've been saying it. Back once again for the Renegade Master and all that. Arteta's doing the ill behaviour bullshit, right? Yeah? He's doing the ill behaviour bullshit, and it's going to bite us in the fucking ass. Real talk, because with all the injuries, lack of player sales, lack of signings, legit, proper, elite level, damn near world-class signings, yeah? All that encompasses is a big pile of dog shit that we can't shift, that we can't move, we can't elevate, we can't do shit, yeah? And like I said earlier, if you think Liverpool's title defence was bad, watch this season, yeah? By January, I'll be amazed if we're 4th at this point. I'll be amazed if we're fucking 4th. Because the fans can call for Berta's head now all they like, yeah? If he goes, we're completely fucked.
Yeah.
And then Michele probably goes after that. and then it's like this Alonso guy, we don't know how good he is and all of that. Do you people understand that if Michele and Andrea Berta go right here, right now, Fatboy Slim sings, we are completely fucked with this manager, with Josh Kroenke, and this cartel board, bruv. Trust me. And if it wasn't for Arsenal being Arsenal, we would be in fucking administration like Palace were back in the day. We would be liquidated.
Yep.
On a berry tip, bruv.
We'll be in bad shape. We'll be in bad
100%.
shape, 100%. Real quick, Manny, then I'll let you go. Bitter Blue, listen, I've been saying this. I would take Njai in a heartbeat right now for Arsenal because I'm sick and tired of what the whole reason why I wanted Vinicius Jr. is simply because Vinny is not going to track back. And Vinny would clunk heads with Arteta, and that's where now you're going to see where the actual ambition is for the club. Because I'm sorry, I'll be completely honest with you. If anybody should be getting forced out of Real Madrid, it's Kylian Mbappe, not Vinicius Jr. Vinny Jr.
Thank you so much, Gianni. Thank you so much for saying that.
Yep. Vinny Jr.
Saying it, keep going.
Vinny Jr. has been the man. I don't know what the fuck people are talking about, but at the end of the day, people seem to forget Vinny Jr.'s first big step to the bigger level of him playing was when they won when Karim Benzema was still there after Benzema ended up winning the Ballon d'Or. And then Benzema left. They only won the Copa del Rey, turned right back around, and then won the double again next year. And Vinny was the star of the show along with Jude Bellingham and Rodrigo. So Vinny Jr. has been put Madrid on his back and has been able to go and win a title. Mbappe hasn't done that. Mbappe has not done that one bit. So for me, I'm not looking. The reason why I want Vinny is Vinny's ego. Listen, I think I've been clear with everybody on this. Vinny Jr., he's either, like what Gunn says, he's either a 2 out of 10 or he's a 10 out of 10. And when he's a 10 out of 10, he's top 5 best players in the fucking world. And when we talk about all the bullshit excuses with Arsenal, when you hear, oh, we can't break down low blocks, everybody plays low blocks. Vinny Jr. breaks down low blocks. That's his game. Not this whole, we defend as a team, we attack as a team. No. That shit needs to fucking stop. This bullshit's got to stop. This season coming in, I don't want to see the same high line where everybody attacks as a unit. I'd rather see the back line play a little bit further back and let the handbrake go and let them express themselves. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. With the way Vinny can place balls, the way he was doing it for Benzema, you don't think Gyökeres is going to score over 20 goals in the Premier League this year if you get that? Big fucking change. Now, because Vinny's not available, I would take Njai in a fucking heartbeat because he can play on both sides and he puts pressure on Saka on the right because walking in, he's already better than Madueke. That's not even up for a discussion. I mean, fuck, I think if my fat ass was given 9 months to get back into shape, I'm better than Madueke, stupid ass.
Same here. And I just swear
we all are.
I told you, Gianni, there's a reason why I call him No Madueke. I know Natson likes to call him Noddy after that beloved, animated character that we have back in England. But for me, it was the signing was a no-no. The way he plays is a no-no, and that's another reason why I can't stand him. And then I'm just going to take another example. I know I talk a lot about this club too much, and people are sick to the back teeth of me saying this. But you only need to take a look at how Aston Villa have completely, rejigged themselves to see that they are an example of they're quite literally a financial success story at the moment. Because I think Natsa might even remember, or maybe he doesn't, but when Villa actually lost the playoff final for the Premiership to Fulham that year, that actually was the year that the then president, Tony Xia, he was banking on them, getting back into the Premiership after they got relegated 10 seasons ago. And yet not long after that, obviously they didn't make it. A certain John Terry was Villa captain, and once again, the bugger failed. What people see in him, I will never know. Another story for another day. But the club was so financially in dire straits that they were very nearly on the verge of going bankrupt. And it was the current owners, Soares and Adams. I believe Adams is from Minnesota. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were the ones who sort of stepped in at the last moment and saved the club by putting in an injection of cash. And not too long afterwards, they ended up getting promoted again under Dean Smith. They sold Jackie Grealish for something like a king's ransom. And, since then, ever since they've come back into the Premiership, one thing which the owners have brilliantly done was right the wrongs of the previous regime and make sure that they, do whatever they have to do to make sure they get the maximum profit that they can get from their players and make sure that they are not in that situation again, even if it means having to sell players every damn season. I told you that's their journey. I mean, last season it was Jacob Ramsey who went to Newcastle. The season before that was Douglas Luiz who went to Juve. And I'm sure as a Napoli fan, you will agree that when he was at Juve, he wasn't exactly, pulling up trees there. And now this season, they've gotten rid of 3 stars from their Europa League winning team. Luca Digne gone to PSG. Yuri Tielemans has gone to Manchester United. Pure profit because he was acquired from Leicester on free. And now they've sold Morgan Rogers to Chelsea. And now there's talk about the possibility of letting Oliver Watkins go so that they can even do more business with Chelsea by getting Nicholas Jackson. Good luck to them. But at least they know how to sell players. And one thing which I like about Unai Emery, and, I don't know if I should say this, his ability to spot when a player has reached his ceiling or passed his meridian and may probably not be able to do very much anymore. It reminds me, and I'm sick to the back teeth of having to say this, it reminds me of Alex Ferguson. Just imagine how, as an Arsenal fan, I feel sick having to mention, that great United manager who put us to the sword more often than otherwise, be it when we were managed by George Graham or under Arsene Wenger. But Villa have gotten their act together. They've slashed their wage bill so that the wage to revenue turnover, exactly, more than 25%. So it was 96 at one stage, now it's 71. And they're doing what they have to do to make sure that they stay financially above board. Now, they have been given a bit of a fine by UEFA, but there is a caveat that they'll only have to pay a third of that, and the remaining 2/3 will be waived off if they do some more progress. But that's a club that knows how to do business. That's a club that has to try to raise money. But they've also got an absolutely smart manager who also has shown an ability to win with the players that he has at his disposal. He's done brilliant things ever since replacing that Liverpool bum, Steven Gerrard. And look where they are now. And I have to say that that's another reason why, pound for pound, Unai Emery is the best manager in the Premier League. Mikel Arteta, get out of here. He shouldn't have joined Arsenal, but I'm just glad that he's enjoying himself. But we need to take a look at how they've recovered magnificently. And I can confidently say that what happened to Leeds United in the early 2000s, what happened to Portsmouth in the late 2000s, in the turn of the decade, what happened to other clubs in between, will never happen to Aston Villa because they've got sound people running everything. And if there is a slight detection of impropriety or incompetence, that they're out on their backsides. Monchi's out. And now they've rejigged some of their coaching staff. Austin McPhee, Paco Ayesteren, Rafa Benito's former number 2. So, you know why they say nothing personal, it's just business. Sometimes you know when it's the right time to let people go. But as long as we continue to have this sentimentality, which also, mind you, plagued us during the latter years of Arsene Wenger's reign, we are not going anywhere. We are not going anywhere. Emery could have been the one to have broken the cycle, but he was never going to be supported by the board or the fans. Even now, the fans still abuse and disrespect him, which is why, even though whenever we lose to Aston Villa, I feel angry at us losing. But I'm happy for Unai Emery. He deserves every opportunity he can get to stick 2 fingers up at the fans and the board who didn't give him the support he deserved.
Exactly.
100%
Exactly. Like I always.
What do you guys think, real quick? What do you guys think of this with what RSV is saying? The thoughts on Chelsea signing Henderson and Welbeck? I get Welbeck. I don't understand Henderson. One fucking
It's
bit.
the Scott Carson.
I don't understand either one.
Yeah. No, but it's the Scott Carson type of thing. You want to have an English player who'll satisfy the homegrown quota. And knowing Henderson as well as we do, he's going to be one of those cheerleaders or, the guy who will.
Does he do card tricks? Does he do card tricks?
No, he'll be the new Bonnie Bluco.
He'll give some good speeches, rile up the troops. I think that's what he did before the third place playoff, and credit to him, we won. Hopefully, I never see him in an England shirt again. He's made history now. Off the sunset you go, but look, it seems clear to me that they just want to, satisfy the English homegrown quota. And if they can do that, good luck to them. That's not a signing which I see Arsenal making, although ironically we were in for John Stones, but now he's gone to Inter Milan. Let him enjoy himself. And now we're stuck having to find another centre-back who can replace William Saliba for the first half of the season.
Like I said, for me, I would go hire Scalvini from Atalanta. I would go sign him if he's going to be available. The kid's 21 years old. He's one of the big future talents for Italy. as far as a defender. So I don't know why we wouldn't go after that, especially when you look at the situation of with Saliba right now. Mateo, my guy, man, I hope you have a good night. Hope you have a good rest of your week. If I don't see you in the chat, brother, hope everything's all well.
Big up, big up, big up. But what you were saying, Manny,
Big
earlier
up.
about what's his face, like Portsmouth. You know, you're seeing it with Leicester now. It's happened to Palace
Leicester.
and
Everton.
and Everton as well. Do people honestly believe that we're too big to go down if we keep fucking up the base? Yes, it would take a bit longer because of the money that we have. But if we keep fucking around with PSR, unless it completely goes away, yeah, it's still here. Do you know what I'm saying? And it can still fuck us over, yeah? All of them signings that we didn't need to make, and if we did make them signings, and even for a year or two or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Even the likes of fucking Odegaard, right? Yeah? We hold on to Deadwood for too long. And it happened towards the end of Arsene Wenger. And even before that, like you said as well, Manny. Noni Madueke, bruv. As soon as we sign, even Igal didn't want him, bruv. I call him not just Noddy, yeah? Like, I call him the fucking brave little toaster. Do you know what I'm saying? He's the brave little toaster.
Dude, that
yeah?
fucking picture had me crying.
Exactly. The brave, I do remember sending it to
Or
you.
in
That
American
brave little
parlance,
toaster.
he would be the little engineer that could.
That
But clearly
little-
cannot.
little guy that could.
Thomas the Tank Engine, the
Thomas
little
the
engine.
Tank Engine, that brave little toaster, yeah? That brave little toaster that's going from the ends of the fucking from the country to the city, bruv. All damn near went in vain because the guy decided to go back anyway.
Yeah.
And then when they went through all of that shit, yeah, and then it all happily ended after whatever. If you've seen the film, it's actually a pretty good film, to be fair. But for anyone who hasn't seen it, but if you have seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The point I'm making is that same shit could happen with Madueke, bruv. We didn't need him. We're holding on, you know, for dear life, you know, Arteta with his sentiments. And when a manager is that sentimental, bruv, about players, it fucking concerns me. Do you know what I'm saying? It's actually very off-putting. Do you know what I'm saying? Because even good managers, never mind the best managers, even good managers know when to not play their favourites. I'll give you a great example. Eddie Howe, bruv. I think he's a very good manager. He'll never be elite, but you know how he always finds a way to put in Jacob Murphy, bruv? And I don't rate Jacob Murphy. He is a fucking scrub. But you notice how he's not been playing him recently. Like towards the end, he wasn't playing him as much as he used to. Mm-hmm. And he'll play him a little bit more if he's still at Newcastle because of like who they've sold and shit like that. But if they get a few more signings, yeah, and they'll all be better than him anyway for the most part. Don't be surprised if he plays in a little bit less or a bit less. Do you know what I'm saying? But this fucking manager, Arteta, whether it's Havertz, whether it's Odegaard, Jesus, we're trying to get rid of, but not really, because again, we want premium for dog shit. Do you know what I'm saying? We want premium for Deadwood, yeah? He'll hold on to that shit. He'll milk that shit till the cow is fucking dead, bruv. Back once again, he will milk that shit till the cow is fucking dead, bruv. And this is the problem. This is why we're in the shit that we're in, yeah? This is don't be surprised if we get a financial sanction. And if it's that bad, we might get a few points deducted as well. Because people don't realise how bad it is. I don't think it will happen anytime soon. But down the line, if this keeps happening, and if Arteta's still here, yeah, it's going to be serious
Well, and that's just the thing with what you're saying, bro. Because here's the thing. Does everybody already forget that the Cronkies were talking about expanding the Emirates? If you expand the Emirates, the construction cost goes against your books. It's not like it's an outside investment. Again, look what happened with Tottenham. Not that they're the best fucking look or team to look at, but remember, their cost of building that stadium went against their books to why they were doing what they were doing on how they went about their business. So you can't sit here and just allow loss after loss after loss, and then all of a sudden you're going to have a monster cost that comes down the pipe because now that you're doing that. Because remember, the whole talk is that if we do these stadium revampments, we got to go play in fucking Wembley. If we play in Wembley, you're not getting all the money that you think you are because you're going to have to split costs with Wembley Stadium. So it's not like you're going to maximize your amount of money by doing that. You're going to lose money at the end of the day, which is why you need to build a winning team to continually winning. It's not only just winning in the Premier League. You need to have that prize money flowing from Europe constantly in order to make sure that everything is covered. Fine margins, guys. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's
And that's the
fucking
problem.
ridiculous.
That's the
Why do you
problem.
think why do you think City's been able to move the way they move? Yeah, everyone wants to say the 1-1-5. Okay. City's been consistently in Champions League. I honestly don't even remember the last time City wasn't in
2011.
I don't remember the last time they were in fucking.
That's over 15 years ago. That's like that's
Yep.
basically 15 years ago. Bro.
Exactly. So since then, they've had constant Champions League money. On top of that, look at the amount of money that they have flipped for the youth players that they've been having. As far as the situation going around where they've been selling players for crazy fucking money. And it's nothing but pure profit to why you can generate the amount of money that you spend with what they're doing. It's why they have the wage structure that they have. They have the biggest wage structure out of all of the fucking teams in England. They got more money. They're paying more people than us or United or Liverpool. That's just the way that it goes.
Because that
ridiculous.
foundation was set, and you're absolutely right, Johnny. That foundation has been set. We were supposed to have that foundation right here, right now, with fucking Andrea Berta, bringing in Michele. Like the thing is with Michele, yeah, you know this full well, Gianni, yeah. You saw he bought in Cavri, he bought in Victor Osimhen, and he bought in Mertens, Caleron. And who was the other guy? Who's the other guy that he brought in to Napoli? Yeah, one more. I can't fuck. Was it Cavani or you know the Mertens era? Mertens, Caleron. No, Insigne. That was it. Insigne.
Yeah, Insigne was out of the youth academy, but Michele was the one that convinced everybody to keep him because we almost sold him for pure profit.
Right. So he's done amazing things. Do you know what I'm saying? He's done great things. We ain't seen shit at the moment. We've seen all Andrea Berta's done, basically. He's brought in a couple of very good signings that we needed, by the way, in spite of this manager. And he's ripped up Tomiyasu's contract. That's all he's done. He's been here for over a year, coming up, 18 months or whatever. That's not good enough. But again, I also recognise, unlike most of the fan base, that this manager has way more power than people think. Andrea Berta is being used as like a sort of like a scapegoat, middleman. When he's not a middleman, he's the main man. But the problem is when we gave Arteta the managerial role, when we should have kept him as head coach, right? He interferes with the transfers, he interferes with the contract negotiations. That should be down to Berta and whoever our chief negotiator is or whatever. Maybe that's why we brought in Alonso. I don't know, yeah. But at the same time, it's all wrong.
Football overseas.
It's looking all fucking wrong. Yeah, big up, man. It's looking all fucking wrong.
Big up, man.
Yeah, like the fact that the last time we sold someone proper was fucking Oxlade-Chamberlain for about damn near 40 million. Iwobi 40 million as well. 30, and that was under Raul Sanelli. Raul Sanelli, the same guy that brought Pepe in, and then we allowed him to walk on a free. Do you know what I'm saying? Say what you want about Sanelli with the the corruption and all that shit. He knew how to sell players. He could sell players at Arsenal, bro. And he bought well as well.
Exactly what you said.
It worked. Why isn't it not working now?
Exactly with what you said when you talk about the losses that Arsenal's taking that's affecting the purchases that are being made. Again, look at Nicolas Pepe. What did we get back for him? We spent 70 million on him. Same thing when you look at Zinchenko. You spend 30 million on him, you sold him for $1.5 million. It's a $28.5 million loss that you still have to take on. That's not being paid off all at once. It's being compounded onto your books. That's the whole reason why we're having issues with what we're doing with getting players. Because again, you have to go by the books of how this all works. Chelsea found the loophole, which is why they cut it off immediately with amortization. Amortization is 5 years. Chelsea found the loophole to do 8 years and sign player options in order to extend it so that they could be able to keep spending crazy money the way that they are. The only reason why you're not seeing Chelsea drop 100 million on players left, right, and center the way that they were before is because they cut that out and stopped that fucking loophole. So it is what it is with that. Football overseas, first time having you on the show, man. Appreciate you hopping on. Who are you? I'm assuming you're an Arsenal supporter as well?
No. I'm actually a rival supporter. I'm a United fan. Yeah.
A who supporter?
Man United.
Manchester United.
Oh, United. Oh,
Man U.
We got a little. We might have a little banter going back here.
No,
What do you what from your perspective? How are you feeling about your transfer window so far? Because I'll tell you what, I think the business that you guys got for Tielemans was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, from one aspect you can say it is fantastic. From the other aspect you can say it we still need more.
Oh,
At
100% you need more.
Yeah. So at least for you guys, for Tillsman, if Arsenal sign Tillsman, it will be a fantastic signing because we already have the squad depth in that midfield. For us, Tillsman will be our first or second choice. For Arsenal, it will be the second or third choice in that midfield. So he'd be a good rotational player, but United teams needs quality players and I still demand standards from Ineos.
Big,
And
real
and
quick.
and we should be
Big up Vigilante
and we
every
should
time.
be going after Real Madrid players.
So, Pete, do you agree with this? PFC's a big United fan. He says he wants at least 4 more new signings for United.
Yeah, actually, I do think we still need a Casemiro replacement for sure.
Yes.
We need a left back. We need a right back. We need 2 centre backs because I think the Elite and Martinez don't know how to keep fit. We need a striker.
You don't like Sesko?
I like Sesko, but I don't class the Zaxi to shoot. Once Zaxi comes onto the pitch, that's when I know United has finished scoring goals.
Yeah, he's not a true number 9. I don't know why they bought him like that. That was bad scouting.
Yeah, and then we need a proper left winger, and then we need a right winger. I don't know what Abomu is doing. I'm losing my patience. I'm seeing what he's doing in the last 2 preseason match, and I'm like, you need to do better. Yeah, it's your second season, and you're performing bad in your preseason matches. Like you're out of form, and that's what worries me on the right wing. So when we need backup, I think four more signings is too little. We need like 7 signings. Above from that, we need a new negotiation team. Fire the board.
Are you a fan of Michael Carrick, or are you just waiting to see what he does this year?
Yeah, I'm to be honest, I'm not when they were looking for a new manager, I didn't really care who the next manager will be because I said it would be the same small issue. You see, with United, you can have a very good manager, but we don't back the manager.
Would you take Unai Emery if he became available from Villa?
He'll still be having the same issues as Carrick. He's not going to be backed well.
Okay, so you think the issue isn't the manager, it's the fact that the board's not backing the manager?
Yeah, with the quality resources.
Okay.
United has how many good managers has United have had? They've had Jose Mourinho, they've had Ole, they've had Eric Ten Hag. We have had good quality managers and we have let them go. So I don't think the issue is management. I think the issue is the top. And until we get rid of Glazers and Cleedy wife called Ineos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when the club can prosper. Because I don't know what Ineos is doing. Sir Jim Ratcliffe looks clueless. How do you have? Yeah.
Okay.
I think you guys have got cash flow problems similar to us. I don't think you have the money that they say that you do, and we don't.
Bro, they're
either.
worse off than us. There was an article that came out that the Kroenkes pulled out more money against. They increased the loan against the value of Manchester United. The Kroenkes have put them nearly £800 million in debt. On top of the fact that they want to build this new stadium, it's like, bro, where the fuck do you think this money's going to come from? if you're not in Europe or at least fucking contending for the title. You have to spend money to make money. That's business 101. And if you ain't gonna spend money to back the manager, then why do you think Manchester United's gonna fucking all of a sudden just turn into this big monster? Funny thing is, we got both sides of Manchester on the panel, because now I want to bring Chike in on this. Chike, what do you make of the whole Rodri potential move to Real Madrid? And if Rodri does go, obviously Bernardo has left. John Stones, I mean, it is what it is with him going. I don't think he's a big worry about it for City. But when you look at with Rodri and Bernardo Silva both moving on, where do you start to look at what are going to be the problems for City, and how many signings do you think City need to make to possibly run it back this year and try to win the league?
So we've signed a bunch of our core. We signed a couple of players to extensions: Vardial, Kushinov, and I forget who else that we signed. But other than that, I get why they did it, but that still means that we have to go out and get. We still have to go out and get people, i.e., fullbacks, a Rodri replacement if he goes to Madrid. But I don't know if he's going to go to Madrid or not, depending if the price is right. We still need someone. We still need a creative player like an Adam Wharton, but that's not going to be the level of Bernardo Silva. So if you think about it, we still need about five players at the least, maybe six. And I just don't see it happening this year. And to be honest with you, there was one thing I wanted to say, and I wanted to say it now. If Arsenal don't win this league, and they lose the league by 10 or more points, then I'll know that. I think we'll all know that Arsenal's Premier League title was a fluke. And I was actually talking to one of my guys, Taryn, big up Taryn and BBK Sports.
Yep.
You can't fluke
Taryn.
a Premier. Yeah, you can't fluke a Premier League. You can't fluke a La Liga. You can't fluke a league title in your own country. You can fluke a Champions League. In other sports, you can fluke a Super Bowl. You can even fluke an NCAA college basketball or football. But you can't fluke a World Series. You can't fluke an NBA championship. You can't fluke a Premier League. So the fact that Arsenal have barely moved and City haven't made any movements either, and they could win the league just because Arsenal fell off so badly, would really be a damning indictment on Arsenal. So City still have work to do. No,
PFC said
not.
that Manchester City could buy
far
Mason
away
Mount.
from the other part of Manchester.
I don't think we fluked the league title. I just see it more as just like everyone
We'll
else
find
was
out
so
this year.
bad.
Oh, go ahead.
Everyone else was so bad.
Yeah.
And we just capitalized just. Yeah, we got lucky. Of course we got lucky. You need an element of luck in every
Yes.
competition,
Yeah,
including a
100%.
domestic league campaign. You always need a bit of luck, rub of the green here and there.
Yeah.
My issue has always been, we're going to see this summer Wagwan, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? We're going to see Wagwan. Now we know Wagwan, Like, you see what Man United are doing. We see what City do. City went for Elliot Anderson straight away, 160 mil. Is he worth it? No.
No.
I don't think he's going to step up to the plate like people think he is. And if you
No, he's not.
If you see what he did in the World Cup, against Argentina, he struggled. That wasn't the only game he struggled, by the way, but he struggled big time against Argentina. Fucking Enzo Fernandez, who ended up getting sent off in the World Cup final. Average, average. When he's on it, he's very good. He's good. But for the most part, he's fucking bang average, bro. We all know this.
The only thing I want to push back on that is this. Do you think the reason why Elliot Anderson looked like shit, and you could say the same thing for Rice looked like shit in the World Cup, do you think it's because Tuchel played two of the exact same profile players when everybody knows when you need to play a double pivot that you're going to have one that's more of the number 8 and the other one's that's more of the outright 6?
To a degree, Johnny, to a degree.
Well,
But
like
I watched the whole world. I watched every single England game. Do you know what I'm saying? I watched every single England game, apart from the last one, which I saw the highlights, because obviously it was done anyway. But like for me, with having two profiles, the same type of players, I hear it. But at the same time, if you're being touted as 100 mil plus in this era, as a top tier midfielder, you got to be doing better than the status quo, like your bog standard fundamentals. Keeping it nice and tidy and protecting the back four. Do you know what I'm saying? basically what Declan Rice is doing. Like, you need to be doing more, bruv. You need to be doing a lot more. But then again, Declan Rice out on his feet. He'll have a big injury at some point. Saka, we know, is injured anyway. Saliba's out injured. So it's just like,
That's the worst one out of them all.
Yeah, and we're not only back to square one, we're reversing. We're fucking reversing. It's fucking abysmal. It's abysmal. And now everyone should see, but most of the Arsenal fan base and the rest of the footballing world that buy into this PR bollocks, especially in the Premier League, especially in England, and then they're even trying to do that elsewhere and all that bullshit, yeah?
Yep.
We don't have the money. We don't have the funds, yeah? We don't have the capacity to do what needs to be done. I don't care about revenue. I don't care about sponsorships. I don't care about all the TV deals. That's all well and good, yeah? But if you can't circumvent the PSR issue, the Cronkies know this, by the way. It's not like they don't know. The cartel board knew, yeah? And even to a lesser degree, Arteta knows. Andrea Berta definitely knows. Do you know what I'm saying? And we're still in this fucking mess. Don't be surprised when it comes to deadline day or just before that, we signed Marcus Rashford on loan like we did last year or the year before with fucking Sterling.
I'll
bro.
fucking lose my shit.
We do that shit, bro, because it looks like it's going that way. I'm going to be real. It looks like it's going that way. We should sign a Conceição. We should sign an Edison or Kefren Turan.
And I'll be very happy if we sign Rashford.
We should sign
I bet.
What's his face? We should sign a Tyreek.
You can even sign the Gate.
And
I don't want Rashford at all anywhere near my team.
No Rashford, no Ugarte.
Here's
we
the
didn't
thing.
get
I would take
Nashers as well.
I would take Rashford. I would take Rashford at Arsenal if it wasn't for what his salary is, because he walks in and he becomes the highest paid player. Because he's getting paid more than Saka. That's why
he got in ahead of Madueke, bro. Madueke was starting damn near every single game for England. God knows how. And then Rashford on the right was doing better than him. And then he moved to the left into
Rashford. Brother, Rashford was fucking kicking ass at Aston Villa on the right-hand side under Unai Emery when he went there. That's why I never understood. That's why I never understood why, like, United never tried him to put it on the right-hand side and go look for another left winger to make more of an offense. That's the thing I never understood with him, because the guy, it wasn't like he was, Rashford wasn't fucking scoring goals like crazy at Villa, but he was getting assists though. Real quick, guys, Chike has to bounce. Chike, I appreciate your time as always, my guy.
Big up, Chike, as always.
Big up, guys.
We will definitely have a Manchester City Arsenal episode coming up soon before the season starts, so that we can deep dive in once we get further down the line and we see more transfers. But real quick, if Rodri leaves, who is your ideal midfielder to pair up with Elliot Anderson if you could jump into the market? Realistic. Obviously, I know you're a Barcelona fan. You would say maybe Gavi or Pedri. But
no, that's not
those guys ain't leaving.
I would love to have him. No.
Who would you take? Bruno Guimaraes?
Yes.
Okay.
But is he realistic? Probably not. Because again, I don't see how if teams are spending £100 and so million, like I just don't see where this money's coming from. And teams are building all these new stadiums. Something's fishy. And you mentioned it, Gianni, that all of our teams are in some sort of debt. The only team that's really not in debt is City. Everyone else is in some sort of debt, whether they know it or don't know it. So I just don't know how teams are spending £100 and so million on players when they know they're in financial trouble. So I don't know.
Part of that is because PSR increased the percentage this year. If you look at it, originally PSR was 70% player ratio of what it was. They've increased that now to 85. So that extra 15% is giving the bigger clubs more money to be able to spend. But again, at the end of the day, it's still all about what your books are. So even if you're getting 15% more to be able to spend, it still doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you still have to flip the bill.
This is why we're in the red, Chike. This is why we're in the red.
Yeah.
We're debt-free when it comes to all other aspects of the club, but we're in the red when it comes to
Hey,
PSR.
Such is classic. We got Zubamendi as a replacement for you if you want him. I'll gladly let Zubamendi go to City.
I will pass.
75
As someone that supports the San Antonio Spurs, keep them all to yourself.
Bro, I'd let you buy him for 50 and I'll drive that bum to Manchester.
Johnny, do you know he's on less money than Solis, bro? Zubimendi's on less money than Solis. He's the only player that we could actually sell and get maybe not our money back, but close to it.
Bro, here's the funny thing. Guess who's on the exact same amount of money that Solis is that we have to renegotiate this year? David Raya and Timber.
Oh, I was going to say
Timber's on
Zubimendi.
90k.
Raya and Timber are both on 90,000. We have to renegotiate with them coming up this year, which we all know they're both going to go over 200,000 pounds a week, just like it's been. Our wage structure is ridiculous. That's what's killing us for this thing.
Oh, it's been an absolute
brother. Listen,
absolute
football. I love what you said here. I would love for fucking Ugarte to be the replacement for Rodri, so City could crash and burn.
Do a Carlos Tevez, innit? Do a Uno reverse Carlos Tevez, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
Legit. Big up Brenny. Big up Brenny. Big up Brenny. Manny, we haven't heard much from you as far as with the transfers and everything else. What do you make of the whole Bruno Guimaraes situation? And I know you said you weren't a big fan of potentially getting Vinny. Are you a fan of Bruno G? And if you aren't, what other midfielders would you try to look to if Bruno G, one, if you're not a fan of a Bruno G, or if Newcastle end up standing their ground and saying we're not selling them, who else would you look to take over as that number 8, or at least split time with Miles Lewis-Skelly?
Oh boy, isn't that just a $64,000 question there? Listen, there is a part of me actually that has liked Bruno G, but I think one thing which Newcastle might want to even consider is that maybe he's starting to, decline a little bit. But I also understand why they want to keep him, because they've already lost Tonali to, that lockdown the lane.
Yeah,
and they're a club that that should be, failing, but somehow they survived another relegation season, and now there's talk about them trying to get back to where they were. I say no chance. Even with the signings they've made, I don't think they're going to challenge for Europe. They're not going to get back into Europe. But back to Bruno G. We're probably hoping, I suppose, that if we, sort of meet halfway and agree on a £75 million or so deal, that we could get it over the line and bring him to the Emirates. And I'll tell you what, he would be an excellent understudy for Declan Rice if he gets another injury. It sort of goes back to the question that you asked about whether or not Anderson's struggles for England in the World Cup were due to the fact that he had a player of a similar profile to him, when, as we all agree, if you want to play a 6 and the 8 in the midfield double pivot, they've got to have different profiles, and with good reason. I just wonder if we do decide to sign him, then we can't have a situation where we play both of them in the same team, unless one of them decides to change his style and go box to box while the other one does more of the defensive work. Mm-hmm. And then I just don't know if that's really going to happen. The biggest issue that I have is that I'm really glad that somebody mentioned that Zubimendi could be sold. The ironic thing is we signed that player, who was of course somehow a World Cup winner, and well done to you, that my guy. We signed him as someone who could help us enhance our game in Europe. Mm-hmm. And yet by the end of the season, Miles Lewis-Skelly was starting over him. And Skelly was being played most of his time at left back, for Pete's sake. Arteta will never learn this ridiculous fetish about wanting to have his left back sort of cut in so that he can have control in the midfield, only to see it cost us when they get behind our defence on the left. Any pacey right winger will have us for dead, and then, pop goes the weasel, as we would say in the UK.
Facts.
So it's like the biggest issue I have is that we either need to make sure that we make Miles Lewis-Skelly our starter, because let's not forget his future could very well be up in the air. He could very well be one of those players that we end up selling just for the sake of ensuring pure profit. But again, it's the sentimentality, as you say, Johnny, that's letting us go.
Yeah.
So what I would like to see happen is we do get the Bruno G deal over the line, and we offload Christian Norgard. Now, that fellow has said that he wants to stay at the club. Lord knows why. He was hardly ever used. And, it's Christian.
Because of the money, that's why. Because of the money, that's why. Because we always
70 grand.
Because
he's on 60, 70 grand a week. Yeah.
It's because we pay players at a stupid rate for no reason.
Exactly, and this is another reason why I cannot have any respect for players who would, there was this old player who played for Grimsby Town, John McDermott. He was there for 20 years. I think he's one of the few.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he famously said, if any player would rather sit in the reserves in a top club, drive a fancy car, and live the life of Riley, than join a smaller club, either permanently on loan, and make sure they play regularly, then I think it's a sad day, and we've reached that day where, we praise people like Scott Carson for supposedly having an influence over the Manchester City squad. When he talks, people listen. I mean, why the hell would they listen to him? Natscher and I remember that he was no great shakes as a goalkeeper. It was that error against Croatia which sent us tumbling out of Euro 2008.
Wally with the brolly, bruv. The Wally with the brolly.
Oh, yeah.
And he got kicked out of Jamaica as well. Exactly. So you've got double the reason to despise that guy, Nasta. I'm sorry to have to bring that up, mate, but you know how it is.
Wally with the
And
brolly.
so, Carson really had the nicest gig he could get. Just show up to training. He wouldn't even be in the matchday squad half the time unless, Guardiola was feeling altruistic. He'd pick up a good wage packet, pick up some medals as a non-playing squad member. But then that's not really the way, any ambitious... Don't you start with that, Nuani. Don't you dare. An architect and a revolutionary. Arteta's an architect. If
Carl Jenkinson was still playing, Arteta would pick him, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? What you were talking about, man, he's 70k a week, yeah? Getting injured before deadline day. That was him, bruv. He started that shit. I swear. Yeah. He was the one that started that shit, and then everyone else has followed suit, bruv. That is in a similar situation. And that's the problem we got. Modern football.
Exactly. But so without digressing, I'm going to bring it back to center because, look, I love being on this stream. I love, saying what I have to say. And if it gets a laugh out of everyone, my job is done. I'm so happy. But listen, I would happily sign Bruno Guimaraes. I would offload Christian Norgard. But the biggest issue is we have to identify who will play in that role alongside either Rice or Guimaraes. And that's how we have a good squad. So if we can also offload Zubamendi, one of the most fortunate people to end up winning a World Cup along with David Raya. At least Mikel Merino came on and scored some late goals. But then without those late goals, there's not even a guarantee that Spain would have even gotten that far. Portugal, Belgium. So, like I said, offload Christian Norgard, offload Martin Zubamendi, stick Miles Lewis-Skelly in, or get another midfielder as well who would, play that role. Now, and as to the second part of your question as to who we would probably get if it doesn't go through, I'll be brutally honest with you. I haven't really taken much of an interest in the transfers these days. I just want, the season to start. The sad part is that Buadi might be going to Manchester City. We could potentially have been in for him back in the day, but now that's out of the water. Could we perhaps try and approach a different player from Real Madrid, maybe someone like an Eduardo Camavinga who could come in and play that?
I would take Camavinga
all day.
That would be something to look for. That would be something to look for. So
I'll be honest with you. If we have this much money to spend, I'll leave this up for you guys to tell me if you would agree with it or not. If we have this much money to spend, and apparently they're desperate for cash since some of the deals ain't going over, I'd go over to fucking Inter and say, what's the price tag for Barella?
Facts. We were saying this on your stream, Johnny. Do you know what I'm saying? We were saying it on your stream, yeah, me and you, right? That if we don't get Bruno G, that's fine. Go get Barella then. But the whole Bastoni debacle, do you know what I'm saying? Which is why they brought John Stones in, yeah?
Yep.
Inter need a bit of money, bit of extra money, even though they got, that 150 mil kitty or whatever they got, yeah? Like,
well, they
want to add to that
shit.
Been
able to spend that yet because now they're under investigation of this possible game fixing through the refs, so they haven't even been able to spend it because of that fiasco.
Another one, bruv. Another one. Hey, look, maybe Nick and Allegri might get a blind, bruv, with all these Milans and Juves and all of that shit still fixing games and shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe, bro. Do you know?
I think AC Milan shot themselves in the foot by hiring Ruben Amorim. I have no idea how that.
Oh yeah, 100%. And who did they buy? Who did they buy?
They spent $75 million on Gonzalo Ramos.
Gonzalo Ramos. Yeah.
They spent $75 million on him. The one that I'm mad about that they did get was Mario Gila from Lazio because I wanted him to Napoli. But besides that, I mean, I would look at Barella. If you can't get Bruno G, why not go get Barella? The
Barella's a better
guy's
player for
experience.
me. He's a better player. He's a better penalty taker as well.
Not only that, when you talk about experience and you're walking, the experience you need to walk into a club that's winning. Barella's won 9 fucking trophies with Inter since he's been there. So, and he's been to 2 Champions League finals. So you have a season.
And he's a Euro winner as well.
Exactly.
And he will do what is required. Arteta, that is an Arteta type player. Do you know what I'm saying? Someone in that midfield that can do both sides, run up and down all fucking day long.
And he's got
That's what
fucking lungs.
Yeah, Arteta wants that player, whereas Bruno G was doing that for a bit, but you notice how he's slowing down and he's not quite at it for whatever reason. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe like I think you were saying earlier, Manny, that he's he's lost a yard of pace and all that shit.
Real quick. Football Overseas, appreciate you hopping on, my guy. First time hopping on. You're more than welcome to hop on whenever I have a call-in show. No worries, my guy. Unfortunately, you are a United fan, so we got to have a little bit of banter. Since we're all Arsenal fans, what are your predictions? If you, let's say, I know you said you need about 6 or 7 more signings. Let's say United only make about 2 signings and they call it a day. What are your expectations with Carrick this year? Do you guys think you're making top 4, or do you think if they set him up for failure that you guys might fall back into the Europa Leagues again?
Okay, I feel like United will finish in top 4, not because United is good, but because I think the other teams have not invested that heavily to push United forward. I actually do feel like we could finish third behind City and Arsenal.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you still feel that City and Arsenal are the top 2 teams as well?
Yeah. City and Arsenal are the top 2 teams. And I know most people are saying Chelsea have invested heavily, but the only great players that Chelsea have brought in is Crystal Palace centre back and Aston Villa players. So that will not fix many issues that Chelsea have. They still need to bring in a quality goalkeeper. Yeah, so they have more things to fix than to.
Yeah.
And then other teams like Liverpool, Salah has left the club. So I think it's up to the players to believe. But hopefully, I don't want to see Arsenal win a title. If United can push, we could win a title, but I know that's unrealistic. Yeah.
If you were to say your ideal season, obviously you said top 4. Is it top 4 and maybe one of the domestic cups, or is it at least we just get top 4 and continue Champions League and then build from there?
No, for me, my ideal season should be winning one of the domestic cups, reaching one of the semifinals of that domestic cup, and reaching the semi-final of the Champions League.
That's the United standard. That's the United standard, though. I like it. But big up, my guy. Appreciate you hopping on. You're more than welcome to hop on any other time, my guy. And hope you have a good day. Appreciate your time, my guy.
Cheers, Kyle. Good to see you again. Long time. Take care of yourself.
Take care, my guy.
Take care.
I'll tell you what, that's brave, semi-final for Man United.
Hey, but you know what? That's United standard. I get it to the kid.
I hear it, but this is what I'm saying. Have some fucking standards, yeah? Most of our lot, yeah? Most of the Arsenal fan base, even after winning a league title, have the same fucking standards. But like I said before, yeah? Just like with Wilder, yeah? When he fought Fury, yeah? You can't go back to fighting bombs. You can't keep going back to doing the same old pulkalia, same old bullshit, yeah? Because you're going to get found out big time, which is what's happening right now. Arteta, Andre Berta's in the mix, and then you got that cartel board along with Josh Kroenke trying to do the same shit.
Yep.
Expect premium for dog shit, overpaying for bang average footballers if that, and then selling our better players for cheap as chips, bruv. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, this just can't carry on. We need at least another like 5 or 6 players minimum But in order to have them players, we need to sell 5 or 6. We did this, Johnny. Like, we did this on your channel. We've done it on other shows, right? With Rashid, didn't it? Like, who would we keep? Who would we sell? And all of that shit, right? I'd get rid of like damn near half the squad. I'd get rid of damn near half the squad. If we have to sell the likes of Jesus now, Havertz on a super cheap, but it gets rid of all the wages, you got to do that, bruv. You got to do that. And people say, oh, but it's not Football Manager. It's not FIFA. Talking of FIFA, just very quickly, yeah? Whenever I do like my career modes, especially Arsenal career mode, Odegaard's the first one to go. I get 70, 80, 90, 100 mil for him. But even if I didn't, bruv, yeah, and they offered 50 and 60 mil, I'd take that money and run, bruv. I reinvest.
20, I'd get rid of them.
Yeah, I reinvest, bruv. I get rid of Havertz. I've done that before. I get rid of all these other bums. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah? Like it's not fucking rocket science. We were ripping up contracts a few years ago on multiple players.
Yeah.
We need to do that shit again. Tomiyasu ain't enough, bruv. We're probably going to have to end up doing it with Jesus and that. I swear. I swear. Madueke, we have to loan his ass out. And then maybe we can sell him for 20, 30 mil, which is basically what Chelsea bought for him when he was at PSV. This is the situation we've left ourselves in. We still need a centre back now that Saliba's out. We need fullbacks, and we needed fullbacks anyway. We need a midfielder. We need a left winger. Yeah, maybe, although it's not number 1 priority, it's not even number 5 priority. Maybe if we had a bit of money left over, we could get like for example, a Zoyabal. Maybe we could get someone like him.
I like him.
As
I
like
would
a
take him at
false
Arsenal.
9, you know, like someone who can do what Arteta wants or play that role, that can play up front, you know, and supply the width and all of that as well. Like something of that ilk, you know, Amir Gouiri, if he doesn't end up at Napoli, either way, if he goes to Napoli, I'm happy with that. If he doesn't and he goes to Arsenal, it is what it is. You know, we should have kept hold of Balogun. We didn't. And now Monaco, if they do try and sell him, which they might do, he'll probably go for 50, 60 mil. And we sold him for what, 25, 30 mil? Which on the surface at the time wasn't too bad. But the problem is, we don't have many of them. So how the fuck has our biggest sale been 40 odd mil? Yeah. And we've been in the Emirates for 20 years. We've been in the Emirates for 20 years, and our biggest sale was fucking Oxlade-Chamberlain. And we've already bought 100 million plus in a fucking Declan Rice, bruv. That's an absolute shambles. That's an absolute
but the problem is,
shambles.
we're not ruthless enough. If you were going to sell Odegaard, the second season where Odegaard went back-to-back double-digit goals and assists, you should have sold him right then and there because his stock was sky high. If you're going to do something like that. But the problem is Arsenal likes to play these fucking fairy tale stories with certain players. It ends up biting us in the ass. Like, hey, here's something I don't know a lot of people know. Do you know that if Havertz stays the entire length of his contract, transfer fee included, he is a £137.5 million player? How the fuck did that happen?
That's more than fucking Mesut Ozil, bruv. And
Bro,
we paid what,
137.5 million is only 8 million less than what Abramovich bought Chelsea for. That's how embarrassing that is with Havertz.
That's a hell of a perspective, brother. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, now here, add Donny Madueke to the mix. The two of them, if they see out their entire contract combined, is 220 million pounds. How the fuck did that happen?
That's nearly £250 million, bruv. Nearly £250 million wasted on Dross, bruv. Martinelli, after that 22, 23, 24, whatever season, yeah?
22, 23, yeah.
Yeah, we should have got rid of him, bruv. He misplaced that pass. If he played that pass to Saka, we win the game, yeah? The league's done, pretty much. The league's done. And then maybe...
Same had he not gotten rid of Trossard.
Yeah, and then maybe Arteta goes at this point right here, right now. Whether he wins another league or not. But, you know, hindsight is a wonderful thing. But the scary thing is, yeah, even if Arteta goes, yeah, next season, season after that, whenever it is, right, yeah, like, we're still going to be in this fucking mess if we don't sell or just get rid of them players on stupid high wages, bro. And the ones that are on high wages that have just got in, like Solis, for example, They have to hit the ground running, bruv. They have to perform. Because if they don't perform, we're not like no one's going to buy them. No one's going to come in for them. You know, never mind the transfer fee.
We're about to pay Arteta £20 million a season with this new contract extension. So where the fuck is the extra?
And it's
money
funny that they're delaying that shit. It's very ironic they're delaying that shit.
Yep.
Funny that. Yeah.
Manny,
funny.
what do you make of all this nonsense? I mean, the fucked up thing is that we were supposed to be changing and going in a more forward direction. Yes, we won the Premier League, and I thank Arteta for doing that, and I thank the boys for doing that. But outside of winning the Premier League financially, it's the same old dumb fucking shit.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. How many times have we heard that before? And the worst part is that now, you know, this is another. Do you remember this whole controversy with this chap named Father Ted saying that when we were playing in the 2014 FA Cup final against Hull City, this guy, idiot, didn't even celebrate us winning that cup because it meant that Wenger would end up staying. There is a school of thought which says to me that those 3 FA Cups in 4 years probably brought Wenger a little bit more time than he deserved, because ever since winning that Invincibles title, you know, we've only been dealing in FA Cups, and yet we've been making all of these mistakes under Wenger as well. And the thing about Wenger is, I can understand that we were at a stage where, you know, we had to sell some of our better players for prices because we had all of these debts to pay, including that of the stadium and so forth. But then Wenger also didn't do himself any favors with some of the player acquisitions that he had, and he never seemed to be willing to correct the mistakes that he was making. And he was the one, inadvertently, who started this whole trend of putting these players on big wages when he signed Mesut Ozil in the first place. Which is why, you know, as great a player as Vinicius Junior is, and this segues back to why I was saying I didn't want him to come to us, because, you know, he's at an age right now where he is sort of at the top of his game. But let's not discount the possibility of his game starting to decline under Arteta for the reasons that I've mentioned. We're going to have to break the. We would have had to break the bank to, you know, sign him, because now I believe it's clear that he's staying at Real Madrid, and good. He needs to stay there, and Mourinho needs to phase Mbappe out of the lineup immediately. I'm delighted that you agree with me on that, Gianni. I could go in depth talking about Mbappe and how, in addition to not being quite the guy, he's also a bit of a bad egg, but that'll take another stream. And certain friends of mine just are not really willing, or they refuse to see that. But you know, we're not. At least we're not signing Vinicius Junior. But had we signed him, it would have went more. It would have meant so much of our money going towards his wages. And even then, history always tells us that regardless of how egotistical the player may be, whenever it comes to a power struggle between the manager and the player, 99 times out of 100, the manager wins. And the reason why I'm not saying 100 is that maybe there might be instances where, you know, the manager ends up cowering and ends up, you know, letting the player have his own way. But those occasions are very rare. One of those occasions, of course, being Didier Deschamps pretty much allowing Mbappe free reign to act as well as he damn well liked. And now that he's gone, will Zidane be the same way?
Zidane ain't going to tolerate that shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Zidane's an alpha male. So is Mbappe. They're going to lock horns, and not just the horns that you buy at Comic-Con, if you know you know. A little Big Bang Theory reference there. I shouldn't even mention the name of that show, by the way. But, you know, Zidane now, as much as he will admire Mbappe as a player, he's going to have to lay down the law and say, I'm sorry, Kylian, you're not bigger than the team. And if we don't do well in the Euros, I might actually take the captaincy away from him. But that's another story.
Listen, maybe I'm crazy. I think Zidane's got big enough balls to say if they don't do well and it falls back on him, he may leave him off the team and cause a real fucking stir.
From your lips to the Lord's ears. But anyway, back to Vinicius Junior. I'm glad we haven't signed. And it's like, we just don't seem to know how to spend our money. We make the same mistake year after year of putting these players on insane wages. And we have the gall to make fun of clubs like Aston Villa, who may fall foul of PSR, but who at least show a lot more initiative and a lot more foresight to know that some players are going to have to be sold if and when their stock is high. Now, of course, they're still holding on to Ollie Watkins for a little bit long because, you know, he's a Dean Smith era player. He's been one of their greatest players. But, you know, if there does come a time when they might have to sell him for big money, they're going to have to do so. After this season, many of the Dean Smith players will go. But they have the foresight to buy some youth. And they've got an exciting crop of youngsters they've brought in who will really start cooking in this Premier League. I mentioned Manzambi, but look at this other big striker, Brian Maggio. Once that whole red tape gets sold, he will certainly start to cook. A big, strong 6'4" striker. Ooh, boy, that is what you want in a Premiership team. But we just don't seem to learn our lessons. We repeat the same thing again and again. And the worst thing about us winning the title is that it seemed, just as with Wenger's FA Cup wins, it ends up justifying Arteta staying at the club and continue to do things the same way he does. And the best managers always find a way to evolve and to change their strategy and shake things up because they know that, you cannot do the same thing again and again and expect similar results when other teams are going to change their approach. You are going to have to prepare for the possibility that you will be knocked off your perch. We were knocked off our perch when we won the Invincible season, and we haven't gotten back since until last season. I don't want to have another 20-year gap, before we win the next Premier League, and I definitely do not want to go another season without winning a major trophy in Europe. Consider this: the only 2 European trophies we've won are now defunct. And one of those trophies, the Fairs Cup, isn't even ratified or recognised as a European tournament by UEFA, and the records aren't even maintained. And Leeds United won that trophy twice. So for a supposed big club, we have a disgustingly appalling European legacy when you take a look at it. And if our only crumb of comfort is winning trophies that are now defunct and no longer in use or no longer being played, what right do we have to walk about like Billy Big Balls, giving it the big lodge, doing a Gabriel Magalhaes and thinking, hey, bow down to us, we're the kings? Well, the kings aren't wearing any clothes. It's like the emperor in days gone by. So again, we're going to have to start really looking inside ourselves and changing things. And the sad part is, and I've been talking to a friend of mine on Twitter who I actually would like to get into a chat one day so that he can hear me talk. I love we go back and forth a great deal. I told him that the only way that things will start to change for the better is if we have a season where we completely nosedive the way Leicester City did the season after winning the Premier League. Yeah, they very nearly made the Champions League semi-finals, but Premier League football was always your bread and butter. And that's why Claudio Ranieri got sacked before the end of the season. Now, as much as we want to see change at the club, I can speak for all of us when I say that we do not want to see the club nosedive that bad. And yet, the way we're going, I wouldn't even be surprised if we failed to make even the Europa League this season. And that's something that can worry me.
That's the thing. That's
what I've been saying.
That's what I'm worried about if we don't get signings through the door, because when you look at the injury profile, for me personally, I don't even care about the risk, because for all those that may not know, we got a 19-day break for one of the, I think it's the first international break this year is almost 20 days where we get off, which is going to be much needed, especially for us. But for me, Saka and Declan Rice should not even play the first 2 months of the season as far as I'm concerned. They need to be given rest. Saliba, listen, the Saliba thing is a whole nother fucking problem that is just absolutely ridiculous for that even to happen. I mean, the way they've tried to spin, it's France's fault. Brother, he fractured his back in March. I'm sorry, he wasn't with France. So what the fuck are we even doing talking about that? But the Vinny Jr., I think, brings up an interesting question that I want to ask to both of you guys. Do you think with Arteta's mentality of how he plays football, of how team effort defensively and team effort offensively, do you think Arsenal's even a destination for a superstar when you have a manager that wants to play that? Because to me, and shout out to Shane Gooner, because I forget who the person was that he brought up, but there was a couple of different people that talked about the fact that Morgan Rogers did not like the way that we played, which was a part of the reason why he chose to go to Chelsea. Obviously, Xabi Alonso, as he said, was a major part of it as well, that he wanted to play under Xabi Alonso. But there was talk from several different reporters that Morgan Rogers was not not too keen on the way that we play football. Do you think with the manager's setup of how it's all is one in unison, defensively and offensively, do you think that as long as he's here, can we even sign superstar players? Because they're not going to want to do that. They're going to want to put their own emphasis on the club.
No.
That's the thing, and I'll quickly answer that question and say no, because the last superstar we had, of course, if you can call him a superstar, and I definitely can, in an attacking sense, was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He should have left a legacy with us. He should have left a wonderful legacy with us by scoring 100 Arsenal goals, and yet because he was so badly mucked around, he wasn't able to do that. And look, I'm not saying that Aubameyang was a saint, far from it. He had his own, bad qualities.
Roger, if you're free, hop on, brother. More than welcome.
His, timekeeping wasn't necessarily the best. But as much as he might have been a sinner, he was more sinned against, in my opinion. And if there was a situation where he no longer had the love for Arsenal, Mikel Arteta is that man. And there is a part of me that believes that Rodgers would have done his due diligence, speaking to the likes of Ebery Eze, Noni Madueke, Declan Rice, and Bukayo Saka, but more so to Eze, because both those two players, mind you, have a similar profile. They're best in the number 10, but they do move about a bit. But Arteta was using Eze as more of a left winger because Nicking a Lingard, as our boy Natsu would call him, had to play in the number 10. No ifs, no buts, no walnuts. So you see that's how pathetic it is. And so when you have a manager who is so pig-headed that he refuses to, buy the players who would suit his stupid system, instead insisting that he buys whatever player he wants and then he has to mold them to play into his system. There's one clueless idiot who has a blog. Natsu might know him. He goes by the name of Kinos, who writes in a blog called She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. That idiot had the temerity to write a blog piece calling Arteta's, mentality quite revolutionary because versatility is always key, even having the gall to compare that to the total football that was being played by the Dutch team back in the day. And I don't want to reply to that guy, but I will call him out and say, man, you are a moron who knows nothing about tactics. You know nothing about how a football club should be run, given how you've ranted over the years with no knowledge of anything. And you need to keep that Dutch team's name and their names out of your filthy fucking mouth. And I'm sorry for the bad language, but it's like now going back to centre. This is a man who clearly has no, tactical awareness, and obviously tries to, mold people to, suit his system rather than embrace that talent and let them thrive in that. And
Aubameyang's the case in point with that.
Absolutely, but Eze as well. If Odegaard doesn't get sold, then Eze's going to have the same struggles again, and then he might end up becoming a new scapegoat. That's what makes me really worried. So Rodgers, I applaud you, Morgan. You've done the right thing. You've done your due diligence, and with Chelsea willing to offer Aston Villa more money and benefit them, go to Stamford Bridge. I think you're going to cook under Alonso, playing alongside Cole Palmer. But then with Arteta again, it's the same cycle being repeated. And people are so happy to put up with it now because, they're league champions. But when, as you say in the US, the feces hits the fan, that's when everything's just going to go down the bolts. And I don't see any superstar wanting to play under Mikel Arteta. I don't think we've signed any real, superstar since Aubameyang left. And if we have signed some really good players, they have slowly but surely turned into, walking injuries. And if Jurrien Timber doesn't enjoy a fulfilling career, either with Arsenal or with the Dutch national team, one person deserves to be blamed, and that is Mikel Arteta. He missed out on his World Cup dream 100%. Because of that guy. And if 100%. I were in his shoes, I'd be saying, when all is said and done, I'm going to make sure that I trash you every chance I get when I write my autobiography. That's really how bad things are. So no, I don't see any superstars wanting to come in. And if we do end up signing a superstar, we'll pay them the wages. But then we're going to see them start to decline under Arteta, and then they'll become the new scapegoat. And then I think Aubameyang will have a role to play as well in telling people, do not even think of going to Arsenal under Mikel Arteta. Once that idiot gets sacked or he leaves by his own consent, then maybe things will start to improve. Will they improve under Mancini if he hopefully decides to join us? Look, I'm not too sure I really like abrasive managers, but if he knows how to win, and if he knows how to, get people on his side, I'm all.
Well, here's the problem. Here's the major problem. Like for me, it's like the reason why we will never get a superstar under this manager is because this manager has to be the center of attention. He's a bad fucking bitch. That's what he is. He's moving like a fucking sexy red, Cardi B, Gorilla Glue, whatever the fuck that bitch's name is. Do you know what I'm saying? You know them ones, Gianni. Do you know what I'm saying? He's moving like them fucking cunts. He's moving like all of them, bruv. It has to be him. The whole club, similar to Wenger, but it's a lot worse. It's a lot worse, especially after winning the league title, that it all has to revolve around him. So whatever Arteta says goes. And that is the biggest problem. This is the biggest thing that is holding this football club back. And Josh Kroenke, the Kroenkes have allowed this shit, along with the cartel board, bruv. Because the amount of players that we've missed out. I remember when we had fucking Alexis Sanchez.
Big up Quadri.
Big up Quadri each and every single time. I remember when we had fucking Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Ozil as well. And then a little bit later, we got Lacazette and Aubameyang like through the door as well. Proper fucking players and superstars. Yes, Ozil was mad frustrating, but it's no coincidence that fucking Arteta got him out the door on a free, pretty much, by the way, as soon as he fucking could. Because as soon as someone even criticizes him, not even challenges him, critiques him, bruv, brings him to the side, all professional and shit, just be like, look Arteta, look manager, look boss, yeah? Like, this ain't working, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? He don't want to hear it, bruv. And the fact that we've won the league, yeah, that we're champions, he's going to double down. And ultimately, that's going to be his demise. I said, yeah, even before we won the league, yeah, don't be surprised if this guy is out the door by the end of this year. Now that we've won the league, it will take longer. I don't think he's going anytime soon. But don't be surprised if we have an absolute shit show of a season, no trophies, so no League Cup, no FA Cup, along with no League and Champions League, right? Don't be surprised if he goes out that fucking door. I think
it's going to be at least 3 years before we see him walk out.
Do not be surprised. Well, here's the thing, Johnny. The only caveat I will have with that is it depends how bad it gets.
Exactly.
If we get Champions League this season and next season, but then we don't get it the season after, then yeah, I hear you. But if we're out of Europe, yeah, if we're in the Europa League or worse yet in the Conference League or out of Europe this season, but like this time next year, yeah, he'll probably go, or at the very least, like for whatever reason, like because we know how this club likes to move. At the start of next season, big up, brother. At the start of like next season, then all this hoo-ha and the pressures, and then they'll probably want to sack him just before Christmas time and all that fucking bullshit. Do you know what I'm saying? And it will be rinse and repeat, and we're back to square one, and even worse than that, you know, because like I said earlier, if you think that we're gonna do like better than what Liverpool did, yeah, when they won the league, think again. Think again. We've got injuries. We've got players that need to be binned. We need to sign players, but we can't do that without selling them. We've got the cartel board that is still here. Josh Kroenke don't have a fucking Scooby-Doo. Do you know what I'm saying? We've got a lunatic, maniac as a fucking manager that shouldn't be a manager. He should be a head coach. We got Michele that ain't really put his imprint on anything really so far. Alonso's just come in and
he's behind the Solis signing, if I'm being honest with you. Because Solis, if you look at it on paper and a step away from everything, he fits the profile of the wingers that I've seen Michele bring through at Napoli. When you look at pace and ability to dribble and scoring, he's very much
direct.
He's very
well.
being much more direct is very close.
But with Arteta, I'm not convinced. Look, I want every player to do well initially, bar Madueke and Havertz, because we've seen enough of them to be like, fuck them motherfuckers. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we know they're dog shit. It doesn't matter what, like not even Don Carlito, bro. Not even Don Carlo Ancelotti can get anything out of them motherfuckers, innit? They're lost causes, yeah? They belong to the streets, bro. And the streets you shall remain. Do you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And all of that. So, it is what it is, man.
Big up, my guy. First time I've had you on the channel. Appreciate you. I I
No,
want to extend the
always-
same question to you that I gave to Nat and Manny, and then Quaj, I'll come to you too. With what we've seen with this Vinicius Jr. situation, do you think
Yeah.
with the brand of football that Arteta does, where it's we defend as one and we go forward as one, do you think with him here, can we even sign a superstar player with that mentality of how he plays football? Because I personally think that's going to be the biggest problem with signing a superstar player.
You see, the thing is, right? I have a very good friend of mine. Some of you may have seen me work with him on Football Takeover, and Bobby. Big up to Bobby. And he works in part with UEFA, and he works with the FA. And he talks to Premier League clubs. He talks to Football League clubs. And he was told, he actually spoke to Andrea Berta before last season was done, and said, regardless of what happens, whether we win the title or not, we're going to play football next season. We have to play football, and apparently that's what the board want. Now that's what the board want, but does Arteta want that? That's the thing.
That's the problem.
You know what I mean?
Nah,
that's
bro.
the problem we've got here.
And if you're about to give him 20 million pounds on a contract extension, now you're basically screwing yourself, because now
Exactly.
with the history of Arsenal, do we really see us sacking Arteta and eating 20 million for however long we got to pay him on top of finding a new manager? That don't sound like Arsenal to me. So now that means you're ended up stuck with them.
Just very
Exactly.
quickly, just very quickly. It actually makes a lot more sense that his contract hasn't been announced to what you're saying, my guy, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? We want to play proper football, Andrea Berta. If it's the case with Josh Kroenke and this cartel board, we all want to see it. We've been wanting to see this shit for years. But Arteta is going to do whatever the fuck he wants. But if he goes against the grain,
Bro, we can't play with the
his
injuries
time,
that we got coming
his
into
time
this.
is nigh, bro.
Yeah,
Bro,
So,
if we try to play that shit football again this year, we're going to get smoked. We're going to get smoked if we play that same brand of shit football again.
And he knows it, bro. And he knows it. But he's going to do what he wants to do. He's going to double down, and that will probably be the reason why he gets potted even sooner than you think, Johnny. With all due respect,
Let's hope
but
so.
we'll have to see. We'll have to see, innit?
But
that's all I
Brenny,
want to say on that.
sorry for interrupting you. Go back. Go.
No, that's all right. That's cool. That's all good. It's all good. Glad to be on it. Yeah. So for me, Vinicius Junior, I think if we go back to the football we're playing in 22-23, 23-24, I think he will settle in quite well. If we start playing this, sticking to the Jurassic football we've had for the last couple of seasons, then it'll be a struggle, and Arteta will expect him to track back all the time.
Yeah,
and the two of them will clash, and it won't be because Vinny Jr. He's a stubborn, he's got attitude. It'll be because Arteta would have wound his ass up. Yep. So you know what I mean, and that's the problem right here. But you're going to get a lot of Arteta's disciples and followers. They're the ones that's going to be, well, it's Vinny. He's the problem. They're not going to look at it as that. Well, Arteta's the problem. You know what I mean, and that's what I see. That's what I see. It's if it was a case of I look at past Arsenal managers, and I always like to look at how they would have handled certain players. And I think the likes of George Graham, Arsene Wenger, even Unai Emery would have handled Vinny Jr. quite well and looked after him.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? But I love Vinny to come to the club, but we have to change our philosophy, the way we play, and also we have to get rid of the likes of Martinelli, because Arteta's the kind of person that, because he's got Martinelli's circle of trust, he would have Martinelli ahead of if Martinelli doesn't leave the club, he'd have Martinelli ahead of Vinny Jr. on the left. Just like we're talking about why I'm so desperate. You know what I mean? I'm so desperate.
He would do that. He would definitely do that. He would be.
It's like Martin Odegaard
to do that shit. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Odegaard for me is the first one that's got to go. Just
he's
because
got
of
to
the
go.
figure that he is.
Yeah,
just because of the figure that he is, he's got to go.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because with Vinny, I don't want that to happen if Martinelli remains at the club, and also it'd be a case of we need our number 10s to grow. Ethan Waneri doesn't look as if he's going anywhere now. You know what I mean? And then you got Eze. That's why I don't want Odegaard at the club. I want him gone because I'm sick of this favouritism. Because favouritism may cost us next season. The Havertz, the favouritism there, it's just ridiculous.
He's shit. Kai Havertz has to go. I don't understand when you sit here and like when people say, "Oh, well, what do you mean we don't have money?" If you add Kai Havertz, Gabby Jesus, and Odegaard salaries together, you're basically paying nearly $800,000 a week. That's $3.2 million a month, and that's the base salary. That's not even the bonuses. When you start talking bonuses, you're talking nearly $3 million a fucking month, or nearly $4 million a month. When you look at that, to have that, and the same thing is like you said, Brenny, the two of them are bench players at this point. Havertz and Jesus are bench players. What the fuck are we doing paying bench players over $1 million a month combined? Nobody does this. Unless you're Real Madrid because you're bringing in $1 billion because you're the biggest club in the world. That's a different story. But not Arsenal. We're not doing this shit. We're not anywhere near the level of Real Madrid to be able to be spending money like that. What do you make of? Obviously, I would like Vinny to come to the club because I think Vinny causes the friction to force Arteta to change his brand of football because Vinny ain't going to track back. Vinny wouldn't stand for that shit, which is the whole reason why I would be cool with it. But for me, I honestly think Bruno Guimaraes is the bigger signing for us. Vinny is a signing that shows where the club wants to go. And to get an early signing like that is massive because it's laying the foundation that, okay, this isn't Arsenal of buying little pieces here and there to just make one puzzle and win a league. And now they're just going to say whatever for the next few years and then later develop the want and need to win a league again. If you go out and buy Vinny, that shows the whole world, okay, they're serious. They're trying to build something over there if they're going out here and doing it. But for me, when you look at what the injury situation is with Bruno Guimaraes, brother, if you got the money, just go fucking pay him. Just go get the motherfucker and be done with this.
Exactly.
But then we weren't willing to, break the bank for Morgan Rogers. What's the guarantee that we're going to break the bank for this guy? I mean,
here's the thing with Rodgers. With Rodgers, the reason why I'm not okay with the reason why I'm more inclined to break money for Guimaraes than Rodgers is because we need to adjust this midfield. We cannot do the same shit that we did last year. If you're telling me coming into this season, Arteta's going to go, hey, guys, guess what? Back to normal routine. Declan's got time off. It's going to go back to Zubamendi.
Back once again, guys.
Yeah.
For the Renegade Master, guys.
And Zubamendi is going to become the 6 again, and they're going to try to force Rice to be the 8 and be box to box. First of all, Rice is not Superman. That man is going to fall apart this year if he goes back to being box to box. It's not going to happen. He needs to be the number 6. But even more so, the reason why I want Guimaraes is Guimaraes forces Odegaard out. There isn't going to be no more sideways passing bullshit. And the even bigger thing is you allow Eze the freedom as the number 10. There should be no reason why, if we sign Bruno Guimaraes, that Eze is not the number 10 coming into this year. Because if you get a guy like Guimaraes who can do everything, can defend, can go forward, and create as well from a number 8 position, there is no more need for sideways passing shit to guard for him to even be at this club anymore. For me, one of our biggest problems scoring goals, everybody like, oh, Gyökeres doesn't have touch. Well, I'm sorry. What are we doing with the number 10 when our number 10s are playing defense in our box? And then we pass the ball to the number 10 just outside of our own box and say, okay, go create. Number 10s don't do that. They need to be further up the pitch. Exactly. That's why they're number 10s to create. And Bruno Guimaraes that.
Gianni, there's one thing I want to say, right? Because I've said this in other chat groups that I'm in, and don't get me wrong, there's some that are Arteta fans, but you know what? They're very they're very critical of him as well. You know what I mean? And that's what I like about them in terms of if he's doing something wrong on the field or whatever, they're not happy with it and they'll voice it, even if they love the guy. And I'm like, I big those guys up. But there's some others. When I tell them this, right, they cannot say a word. I've never heard anyone say, "You're not Bruni." No, that's not true, man. How can you say that? No, I'd still love him. I said, if Odegaard came to Chelsea, Spurs, it could be United or Liverpool or even an Everton or Villa, from Real Madrid, and he was still at one of those clubs now, all the Arteta sections will say shit.
Yeah, that's fact.
And that's something.
That is
And that's
facts.
something. And that's something that they still won't admit to this day. Whenever I bring it up in chats, the way they rate him, I'm like, come on. And they're like, oh, he had a fantastic World Cup. I didn't see anything at the World Cup. I'm sorry, I didn't.
What did he do that was fantastic? He did the same sideways bullshit. Cool. He found a way to get 4 assists. Everybody on this panel could find a way to get 4 assists if we were given 9 months to get in shape and had targets like Erling Haaland to pass the fucking ball to. Whoop-de-doo. You're supposed
Look
to
at the
do that when
assist
you're
against
getting
England.
that much money.
Look at the assist against England. I didn't think he expected that assist
Yeah.
to have actually gone in.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless he expected that ball to be crossed in. You know what I mean?
What did he do
So,
against
yeah.
England? I saw that whole game.
Big
I
up
saw
Reno,
it in the booster.
mi fratello. Reno, love you, brother. Even though you are a Juventus fan, I love you.
Juventino, bro. Jesus.
Yeah, but
Love
Reno's
him,
good
lads.
people, man. Reno's
Yeah, no,
real good
I
fucking
hear it.
people.
I hear it. I've got an old school mate that's Juve as well, and he's a sound guy as well. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it is what it is. You know, that whether it's Tottenham, Man United, there's some decent ones in it. There's some cool ones.
Yeah,
the rest of them,
Rennie,
no.
long time no see, man.
It is what it is.
How you been, man?
Had like what Bitter Blue's saying. It was a basic pass that he got the assist against England. It's nothing
He
special.
did nothing in that game. He did nothing. Like I said, I saw it in the booster.
The game
Yeah?
was live on ITVX in the UK.
He did nothing in that game. He's done nothing in that
The
tournament.
way he takes it. Oh my god.
Bullshit.
I
It was
just can't
absolute
understand
bullshit.
what he
Bro,
said.
Noosa had a better tournament, bro.
Cody-
Noosa had a
Facts.
better tournament. Obviously,
Facts.
Haaland
He
had a
did.
better tournament.
Yeah.
Even Sander Berg was more effective than Odegaard. Sander
100%.
fucking Berg, bro,
100%.
holding it down in that midfield. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's one of their centre backs that plays in the Prem or some shit? I've forgotten his name. Yeah. He had a better fucking World Cup. The goalkeeper did better. Odegaard, because he's their nation's captain as well as our club captain, which is a fucking shambles, right? Yeah. That's why he gets a blight. That's why he gets a blight. Whether you love this manager or whether you don't, yeah, he always gets a blight. But this season you're going to see Wagwan in it. We saw it last season. This season we're going to see Wagwan how dog shit he is. More so with Madueke as well, and even Kai Havertz. But Kai Havertz scored 2 against Curacao. What did he do after that? What did he do against Ivory Coast? He shat the bed, did fuck all, bruv.
I
fuck
swear,
all
there are
in
so
Germany.
many
Exactly.
people. There are
Didn't
so
he also
many
miss a
people
penalty in the
overhyping
shootout
Havertz.
against Paraguay, by the way?
Yes,
Yeah,
he did.
missed.
He missed the
the
Oh yeah,
penalty.
he did. Oh yeah, he did. Yeah,
It was the first
yeah.
penalty, Manny. It was the first penalty, and he missed it. And obviously,
Yeah.
I told the Havertz fanboys to hold that because all these Havertz fanboys were saying, "Oh, but he's got good link-up play." That's what we were told. He's got
Yeah.
good link-up play.
And now you see what they're doing. As soon as the Vinicius Jr. rumors go down, look, let's go get Julian Alvarez. For what? For what? Did we not learn for 2 seasons that the false 9 doesn't fucking work with us?
Exactly.
You need a
The
gun.
inverted fullback
Alvarez is
doesn't
not
work
a gun
either.
man.
The
Listen.
inverted fullback doesn't work either. None
Listen,
of them work.
You guys know my opinion being Italian. I don't even want Ricardo Calafiore on the fucking national team, let alone on fucking
Yeah,
Arsenal.
yeah.
He's a fucking bum. He's a bum.
certified bomb. Certified bomb.
My grandmother, who's dead, God rest her soul, is a better player than
better
Calafiore
left
is.
back, better left back, bro.
Yeah.
My old man
And
used
of
to
Oh,
course,
man.
like all Italian nonnas, she does cook a wonderful meal, doesn't she?
You damn right. Why do you think? Why do you think I call my stomach my investment?
Hey, I had a bit of fusilli
man.
before I jumped on this stream, bruv. Bit of fusilli with fucking pomodorini, cherry tomatoes, bruv. Some parmesan. Do you know what I'm saying? Chopped up some red onions.
Shabazz.
The chili oil? The chili oil with the extra virgin olive oil is the one, bruv. For anyone
yeah.
that doesn't know, Italian or not,
Yeah.
extra virgin olive oil is the one, bruv. Is the one. I don't care what anyone says. Olive oil, if you get the right one, is great. But extra virgin, that is the one, bruv. Yeah,
This is the
yeah.
best.
Yeah.
This is the
Tartana.
best right here.
I need to search for that shit. I need to look
I make
for
banging
that shit.
lasagnas, man. I make banging lasagnas. Love it, man.
Yeah,
It's been a
Love
while
it,
since
man. You know what I
For
mean?
me, it's a risotto. For me, it's a risotto. Just make sure you cook the rice perfectly.
Yeah.
Add the butter and the parmesan at the right time to make sure you get the mantecatura spot on. Works a treat. But again, I'm sorry, Johnny. Neapolitan, you don't like risotto.
No, I do like risotto.
You know what I mean?
We have our own version of risotto that we do. So like my grandmother, what she used to make, actually funny enough, my buddy does it at his restaurant. It's a cognac mixed with red sauce for lobster risotto. It's fucking delicious. It's a little bit of cognac put into the sauce before you start putting the risotto in, and you mix it up. But the cognac gives it much more of an even creamier sauce.
Boy, you had me at cognac.
Brenny, I got a trick for you too for the lasagna. What my grandmother used to do is she would get hard-boiled eggs, and she would dice up she would get the hard-boiled eggs, dice it up, and put it into the ricotta. It would make the ricotta even more creamier than what it is than what she does to lasagna. Yeah.
Noted. Big up, man. Big up.
Because the bechamel, if you get the bechamel sauce right, it's banging. But I hear what you're saying, Johnny. Just bit more. Just
It makes
a
it
little bit
cream.
more.
It makes the cheese even more creamier when you eat it. Lasagna, when you whip it with the hard boiled egg. It's fucking delicious. Trust me.
Would you add a bit of extra cheese?
Brother, I do not go out and order lasagna because 99.9% places don't do that. And when you try it, it makes that much of a difference for the flavor with the lasagna than what it is with that. Plus, the other thing is, like Italians, lasagna is a once a year thing. We more so will eat baked. We'll eat baked ziti more of the time during the year, and then lasagnas for like the holidays. We don't. That's how I was raised. Lasagna's once a year during Christmas. Once it's not there, goodbye. You ain't gonna see lasagna for the whole year. That's how we grew up.
I haven't had lasagna in time. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's not even my regular thing. Like I would have. I think the last time I had lasagna was probably earlier on this year or last year. Do you know what I'm saying? It was that long ago. So I hear it, brother. I hear it.
Whatever happens, you've got to have some tiramisu for dessert. Am I correct, Jeff?
Oh, 100%. Tiramisu is the best. Tiramisu is the best. If you can't get tiramisu, then you need to have a little bit of lemon sorbet gelato with a shot of limoncello at the end of it.
Oh, that is brilliant.
That's the other thing. Kwaja, my man, what do you make of this whole fiasco with the transfers? Obviously, I know you wanted Vinny as well.
Yeah.
But what do you make of the? I'm not too surprised that Vinny wants to stay at Madrid because it's Real Madrid, right? It's the biggest club in the world. I'm not shocked by it. I do like the fact that Arsenal even entertained it, but at the same time, like our boy Shane always says, all it was a smokescreen to get the fans off of the higher ups back by saying we're looking at Vinny Jr. What do you make of the whole Vinny situation, and what do you make of the whole Bruno Guimaraes situation?
I mean, the summer window's still been a shambles. I mean, if you're Premier League champions, surely you have to, get the signings sealed as soon as possible and make sure you're ready for the new season. And we've only signed 3 players, and we've signed a left winger. I mean, apparently during the behind closed doors, apparently he's doing well. I mean, that's what I'm supposed to believe in, that he did well in the closed doors. I mean, what are we doing it? It's only pre-season. You got to give the geezer some time. I mean, the new season's about to start. People seem to overlook the fact that he flopped at Norwich City during his time in England, 2.5 years, and he scored 1 goal in his time at Norwich City. So his time in England was disappointing. Let's just hope that he does not flop at Arsenal. Because during his time at Norwich City in England, it was very bad. But let's just hope here. Let's just give him time. Let him get the numbers, because everyone talks about his numbers in the Belgian league, 17 goals, 23 assists. It means nothing. You can do that in the Belgian league, but different leagues, you're going to produce different numbers. Correct. And it's all these stat padding, and our fan base just love these stat paddings for no reason. I don't think these players have watched him. I've never watched him a lot. I remember we did face Club Brugge in the Champions League. I saw him play. I didn't see him do a lot against Ben White, but obviously Berta decided to sign him. Fair play. Arteta, I don't think Arteta would sign him. I think Arteta would try and, maybe try and get a Jadon Sancho on a free, because he's a free agent, and I think Arteta might be calling Andre Berta to get Jadon Sancho. I don't want Jadon Sancho anywhere near my club. I don't think
I don't
anyone-
want Jadon. Listen, if you're telling me Jadon Sancho or Marcus Rashford, then give me Marcus Rashford now
Yeah.
with the crazy salary.
Yeah.
I don't want Jadon Sancho anywhere near this fucking team.
I think it's a shame, bruv. I think it's a shame because, like, with Jadon Sancho, like, the ability is clearly there. Like, Rashford's got a bit of ability, but I think in terms of technical ability, I think Jadon Sancho is better. But with the way his career's gone, do you know what I'm saying? You know, other stuff off the field and all of that, you know, the issues that he had with Ten Hag, it's just like, like his career's just fallen down, like just gone down the fucking drain. Do you know what I'm saying? And now that he's free, it's like, and he's probably going to demand high wages as well. So it's just like, is it worth the punt? Even me, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Like,
That's
and
why
the way Arteta
Rashford.
wants to play, the way Arteta wants to play, because we know he's going to dig his heels in and all of that shit. Like, it's not going to be worth it, bruv. And then if we bring in a Jadon Sancho or even a Marcus Rashford, either way, why did we fucking sign Madueke in the first place? The brave little toaster.
Exactly.
Why are we keeping this brave little toaster looking ass?
Bro, if you want to make waves with an ex-United player, then make the biggest waves of all and go get fucking Mason Greenwood. If you want to make waves by getting an ex-United player, go get the best out of the three and go get fucking Mason Greenwood.
Jamaican international now as well. Jamaican international as well, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
is it
Green was
official
not
that he
an
switched?
option. Green was not an option because obviously there's that whole off-field controversy with him and his significant other, and there are even a lot of Manchester United fans who have made it crystal clear that they never want to see him again. If they don't, it'll be too soon. I mean, what's that also going to mean for the ladies in our fan base? How will it look if we sign him? And bear in mind, our ex-captain, of course, is still accused when it comes to a rape charge. So it's bad optics if we go for Green. I'm sorry, that can't happen.
if you're talking about
At the same
party
time,
money, I think he got cleared. Well, at least
That's
under,
the thing
under
is
the
that
law,
Greenwood
like,
got
but-
cleared out of the charges. That's why if we're going to do it, I'm fine with it. If it was still a situation where the court case was going on, then obviously PR move, you can't do that because it's clearly a problem. But he got dismissed on the charges and ended up beating it. Yes, the problem is in a case like that, you're guilty before you even go to court. They all say innocent till proven guilty. In the court of public appearance like that, you're guilty. It doesn't matter what it is until you're proven.
And people would still say that he only got off on a technicality, as did Danny Alves. So it's like,
True.
you can talk about how you were exonerated, but you're tainted for life. And of
No,
course, there's another issue where that
100%.
tainted.
I was simply throwing it out there as the point of there's no reason for us to be looking at any of them fucking United wingers. Again, Marcus Rashford's walking in. He is the highest paid player for Arsenal once he walks in. He's on £300,000 a week too. You can't have two of them with him and Saka. And especially because the only reason why Marcus Rashford put up numbers is because he was at Barcelona. Let's just call it for what it is. If Marcus Rashford wasn't at Barcelona and got stuck at Manchester United, nobody would be talking about it right now. Let's just keep it
And
honest.
despite those numbers, Flick decided not to sign him. I mean, I thought that's harsh because he is a damn sight better than Anthony Gordon. But
I
still,
was just
mean,
going to
he's
say,
fun.
you said, Anthony, Manny, you said, you took the words right out of my mouth. If you're that good, how the fuck did they say, no, we're not going to spend $30 million on you, but we're going to spend 70 on Anthony Gordon, who's dog shit? All Anthony Gordon is speed. That's all he is. That's all he doesn't have.
But he got one assist. He got an assist against. Who did we play in the last? 16?
He scored against Argentina.
yeah.
You took the words out of my mouth, Jan.
Scored against Argentina, bruv. Get the fuck out of here. 70 mil, bro. If he's 70 mil, bruv, yeah. I clearly picked the wrong path, innit? I should have tried to make it in a football academy, bruv. Not a rugby one. Do you know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
I should have started smoking dope at 12 years old. If I was in a freaking
Hey, you can do that later, Gianni. Either way.
My brother.
Big up Kyle the legend. Man like Kyle.
Yes, man, great.
back in the building.
Good to see you, Moshada.
Come on, G.
Kyle, my brother.
Brothers, how are you all keeping?
Trying to stay sane with this Italian national team and Arsenal's transfer window, but what can you do, right?
Exactly. What can you do?
How you been, bro?
Danny, I said I'd jump on for a few minutes, brother. It's been a long, long time. But after being through the mill, you know, yourself with the missus and stuff like that. So listen, all is good. She's had to go on through major surgery, so she's on the road for recovery. I myself personally have gone through surgery as well, and I'm on the road to recovery. So it hasn't been easy. So Arsenal and YouTube had to take a back seat there for a while, but I'm trying to build myself back up now for the start of the new season.
Nice.
So hopefully everything will be okay.
Oh, might have been the internet.
Kyle, so happy to see you back, my brother. And listen, whatever happens, health is always more important. I hope that you somehow find a way to hear this, but we've missed having you. I've missed you. And certainly can't wait for the club season to start again for similar reasons. At least I'll be a little bit more active. Didn't watch a single game in the world. Proud of that.
Listen, that's for everybody. Listen, health and this peace of mind is the most important thing. If you don't have peace of mind, you're going to drive yourself fucking insane. If people are causing you a loss of peace of mind, don't deal with them. If anything's going on in your life that causes you a loss of peace of mind, unless it's your job and you need it, besides that, cut it out.
Yeah.
Your health is
Never
that's why
let
that's
anything
what
or
they say.
anyone disturb your peace, innit? Keep your peace at all times, bro. Keep it even more than Arteta likes to keep this like prehistoric, Jurassic Park style football. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, health is the biggest wealth and all that shit. But it's always great to see you, Carl, and big up yourself for jumping on and all of that.
He's gonna hop back on. I just texted.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And and keep up with the recovery as well with the misses as well and all that. I'm glad, like that. So it seems it's going well. So yeah, big, massive respect.
And it's funny enough that he brought that up. That's the same thing that I was saying that was part of the problem with like what Manny brought up with Aubameyang. Here's the thing with me that I have a problem with Arteta. Let's all remember something here. Shout out to Troops because Troops brought it up. Aubameyang basically got kicked off the team because he was late coming back to practice after checking on his mom in Spain who was going through breast cancer treatment. I'm sorry, brother. We're all human at the end of the fucking day.
Exactly.
If you've never lost a parent or have ever seen somebody else lose a parent and what you go through, you shouldn't be over here saying, oh, you were 20 minutes late to practice. Sorry, your mom's got cancer, but I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry, brother. That's not how the world works. We're all fucking human beings.
Yeah.
Okay? So that should have never been an excuse to try to force Aubameyang out of the club because he was late, because he was checking on his mother.
Not even Fergie did that, Johnny. I'm going to be real. Remember when
Exactly.
Cristiano's dad died? Fergie gave him all the time he needed.
Exactly.
He gave him all the time he needed. That's Cristiano. Granted, it wasn't the Cristiano that ended up, do you know what I'm saying, that came to be just before he went to Real Madrid and then he went to Real. Well, he's already a superstar anyway, even before that. But you know what I mean? He gave him time, bruv. A young kid, what was it, 19, 20, 21 or whatever, yeah? He gave him all the time that he needed through all of Fergie's antics and all that shit. That man gave him time. Whatever you think or say about him, but Arteta can't do it because he's a fucking lunatic, bruv. And he's a dickhead. He's a complete dickhead, bruv, at the very least.
And you know what, Nat? Wenger did the same thing for Sol Campbell back in 2003.
Facts.
That passed away.
Yeah. Arsene Wenger did that.
Yeah,
I think he did that multiple times as well. He definitely has a heart.
He did.
He definitely has a heart. Arteta doesn't,
100%.
bruv. He's a complete cunt, mate. I have to be real.
He's an asshole.
Scumbag. He's a scumbag, bruv.
Yeah,
when it comes
he's
to
an
shit
asshole.
like that.
He's an asshole.
I'll never warm to him. I'll never warm to Arteta. He could win 3 more league titles, and I'll never warm to him. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he could win the Champions League.
I don't like him as a person.
Bye-bye.
He's an arrogant
Win the
piece of
Champions
shit,
League
bro.
and fuck off.
I don't like him as a person, and that's not how I was raised. And I respect people. He don't respect people. I'm sorry.
Nah.
Everything.
He's a dictator. He's a dictator
Too
to
high and
ask
mighty,
people.
bruv. He thinks he's better than everyone else, bruv. He's narcissistic, high and mighty, and all that shit. The guy's got no chill, no respect, and he ain't got no fucking bollocks either. He's got no cojones and all of that. He limped over the line with the league title, and he'll be riding that shit off till the sunset, from now till the end of his fucking career. That's the kind of guy that we're dealing with, that we have to deal with, that we have to see on a weekly basis. You know, enough monitors have been shut, have been fucking trashed, enough TVs have been smashed. All due respect to you, Carl, and all of that, but I hear it. When the TVs get smashed, you know you you know you ain't that guy. Do you know what I'm saying? You know you ain't a good person, bruv. You know you're on some fuckeries, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just like it is what it is, man.
Kyle, what do you make of the whole? And I'm glad you hopped back onto the channel, my guy. And like I said, like we were saying when you froze up, we're all wishing you and your wife the quickest and fastest recovery. What have you made of this whole transfer window that's been going on? I mean, Vinny obviously was a long shot. I wanted Vinny to come because it signifies that the club is starting to take themselves serious, that we're going after superstar players like that. And also I think it's because of the fact that Vinny would force Arteta to have to change his brand of football, at least in my opinion. But obviously Vinny was a long shot. I think we need to get this Bruno G deal over the line because we're hurt next year walking into this season with these injuries off the back of the World Cup. What do you make of how the whole transfer season's been?
I think it's a complete joke. That's what I think. Personally speaking, when I heard all this news about Vinny coming to the club, never going to happen. It was never going to happen. And I was sick to death of looking at YouTube and every single content creator out there running with this story about Vinny coming to Arsenal. I was sick to death. He's coming close. It's going to happen. We're going to get this superstar football player to the club. This and that. What a bullshit, Gianni. It was never going to happen.
Yep.
I left a voicemail to Lee Gunner, Big Up Lee, and I said to him when all this broke, I said to him, Lee, Vinny Jr. is coming nowhere near this Arsenal squad. Would you, Gianni, honor this Arteta to ruin your career after 1 or 2 seasons, run into the ground? I hear you saying that if he came, that he'd change up the style of football. Wouldn't happen because Arteta is the man. And if you don't do what Arteta wants you to do, it's out the door. So if Vinny would have been tracking back instead of going forward, it's a complete and utter joke. And Bruno, why is this taking so long? Bruno is playing with Newcastle United. We're supposed to be Premier League champions in the Champions League final. Go and get the fucking deal done. If Newcastle want 80 million, give 80 million. If they want 100 million, give 100 million. Get it done. Yeah. We need Bruno in midfield, Gianni. In a big, I think he's a vital signing. And I'd snap Arsenal for getting that deal done. But get it done before he ends up with someone else. Because Declan Rice, in my opinion, is fucked. Declan Rice needs at least 2-3 months break. At least.
Facts.
Saka.
Same with Saka.
Saka shouldn't be seen till the end of the season. Sorry to cut you off, Carl, very quickly. He shouldn't be seen for the rest of the year, bruv. Saka should not be seen until next year. It's that bad.
100%. You have to give Saka a long time off because Saka will never come back to the footballer he was. Saka to me is based. Why is we're talking here? I've been listening to lads talking there about transfers and Vinny and Bruno and all these fucking shite. My question is, what's going on with getting fucking rid of dirt out of the club? Why is Jesco still on the books?
Yeah.
Why is Havertz still on the books? Why is Odegaard still on the books? Why is Calafiori still on the books? Why is Ben White still on the books? Why is Madueke? Why is Norgard? Why is Madueke still here? I'm sick of fucking dead.
It's Deadwood. That's all it is.
With Deadwood.
Get rid. And you say we're just staying on to get in these players. But you see, the problem there then is that these players, who's going to buy them for the fucking salaries that we put them players on? Who would pay 280,000 a week to fucking Havertz? Would someone please tell me? Who out there would pay 280,000 to Odegaard? Would someone please tell me?
Yep.
The worst captain in Arsenal's history. This fucking prick got to lift up the Premier League. I've been waiting like us all, 22 years to win the Premier League. And when we win it, what do I see? Fucking Odegaard lifting up the league as captain of the Arsenal team. It's a joke. It's a fucking farce. Then we go to the Champions League. I haven't been speaking to any of you guys since then. That Champions League final was an absolute fucking disgrace of the highest order.
Yes.
I was told, Archer, they can't go to play football against PSG. We had to sit back and we had to defend. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
We had 11 players against 11. Go out and play fucking football. If you get back 3 or 4-0 trying, well, at least we can all say we were proud. We got back 3 or 4-0, but at least we tried. What did I see that day? A fucking team like Argentina in the World Cup final trying to go all the way to a penalty shootout. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then when we did get to a penalty shootout, what happens? They get Gabriel to step up to take that vital penalty, our centre back. Get the fuck out of here. Why this disgrace, Madwiki, was standing there with his arms around players, looking at Gabriel stepping up to take that penalty. We spent 55 million on that forward player for situations like that. So why did that cowardly cunt not take that penalty? It's a fucking.
It was cowardly.
We could have won that. We could have robbed that Champions League, but at least we would have fucking won it.
Yeah,
Instead of that, now here we are, same old shit. Now I'm going to say something now, big time, and I'm putting my neck on the line here tonight by saying this. The injuries that we have, the fucking dead wood that's still at this club, the style of football that we played last season, which was the worst I ever fucking saw, and I'm 40 years supporting this club, we haven't a hope in winning the Premier League next season. If we keep this shit going, this style of football, and we don't get in players and get rid of players. And I'm telling you all that here today. Not a chance in winning nothing.
And I just want to come back on what you were saying on that, because I agree. Here's the biggest thing. All of us like to walk around and say that Arsenal's the 3rd biggest club in England. Here's the reality check that everybody needs to realize. If we don't win a fucking trophy this year and City win at least 1, they're tied with us. If they win 2, City's now the 3rd biggest team in English history because they've surpassed us on trophies. This is where this is inexcusable. Now, I've said at the beginning of the year, I want us to go back to back, but I also realize how difficult it is because only 3 teams have been able to do it in the Premier League era. So if you don't go back to back, you better fucking win a domestic cup double this year. And I do not want to see these domestic cups get thrown to the side like we've seen every fucking year.
Yeah.
I don't want to see this shit again. It's been 93 was the last time we won the Carling Cup. Win that fucking cup. And you better not show up and do another disgraceful final like you did against City in that bullshit. And as far as with the FA Cup, listen, you're never going to get an easy as a draw that we had for that FA Cup in the route that we had. How we didn't win that trophy was a fucking disgrace as well.
I'm still pissed we lost to Southampton, Johnny.
Spygate, bro.
Are you losing to a championship club?
Spygate
Are you losing to a championship club? Come on.
Brother, here's the thing. Take your pick of which one's worse. Real Madrid's B team over 2 games should have ran up 10 goals against fucking Manchester City's bullshit backline. We show up in the Carabao Cup final. We make fucking Gagey and Kushanoff look like fucking prime Maldini and Desai. And they're dog shit. And they're both dog shit. They're not any good. Gagey's not that good of a center back. Let's be real here. Gagey's not that good of a center back. He's okay. He's nothing fucking top class like we've seen in the past. And Kushanoff is an accident waiting to happen. All he is speed.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's all he is. Yeah. Kushanoff, all he is speed. He has got no technical ability as a defender. He don't know if the ball's round. Vinicius Jr. taught him that the ball was round and not square in them 2-game matchups in the Champions League. And you mean to tell me we're fully fit going into that final? They got a bunch of backups and they make us look like a fucking kids team. It's disgraceful. It's fucking disgraceful. But Kyle's 100% right. You cannot have coming into this season and not win more trophies. And here's the other thing that I'm going to say too. It's not Chelsea, it's not Tottenham, and it's not Manchester United in the Europa League. It's Sunderland, it's Bournemouth, and it's Crystal Palace. All these clubs are selling if the right price come along. England may not get the coefficient this year because those are the teams in the other European competitions. If we don't get the coefficient this year, it's back to an old school top 4 race. And if we don't add to this team with where we're at with the injuries, we're going to be in a top 4 race. Because I'm sorry, I don't care what nobody says. Saliba's the best center back in the world. Him being out for as long as it is, and the fact that this man had a fractured back and was having to play on painkillers since March is a fucking disgrace. It's a disgrace.
Disgusting.
I don't forget,
And
guys.
the worst part
Rodri,
is the PR tries to say, "Oh, it's all Deschamps' fault." No, it's not, motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
It was March. It was March. It was 2.5 months before the World Cup even started that this fractured back was discovered that he was playing. Not to mention his ankle's been fucked up since the third game of the season against Liverpool when we got him injured in a warm-up. This is to me, this is the biggest reason why superstars will not come to Arsenal. It's not only the fact that Arteta's brand of football doesn't suit superstars, it's also because everybody's starting to see all the injuries. Simon Jordan and John Terry with that idiot Pierce Morgan. Real quick, big up the legend Zier.
Ciao fratello.
Ooh, I don't know why.
Yeah, I tried speaking in Italian as well, bro. You get me? I had to say it in Italian.
But
مساء
if you
الخير
look
يا
at
أخي.
if you look at
Manny, what's good?
if you look at what
Big up,
went
man.
on, everybody in the media was acting stunned. Why are all the Arsenal players looking so tired? Brother, this asshole's ran everybody into the ground for 2 years.
Exactly.
The fuck are you asking why everybody's still tired?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
common
Kawaja.
sense shit.
Kawaji, you were saying something about Rodri, right?
yeah, Rodri had back surgery and he's now going to be resting after that. Why didn't Saliba not just accept the back surgery? I mean, Rodri was unbelievable for Spain in that World Cup. And I think
Here's the tricky thing with this, though, that I don't think a lot of people are reading into this. If Saliba got the surgery, you're talking about spinal fusion at this point. So spinal fusion surgery does not always work because if your vertebrae do not allow it to be fused, you could screw yourself up even more. I'm fine with him getting the treatment done, but there is no rushing players back now. There is no Saliba cannot be a Saka situation where we rushed him back to play Madrid in the Champions League final and Saka's career is shot. Saka is not going to go back to the player that he was 4 years ago. It's not going to fucking happen. Saka's biggest quality was his first 2 steps were the fastest first 2 steps in the Premier League. That's why nobody could stop him when he was getting on one. That's why I'm saying right now with Saliba, if it's 5 months, make sure it's 6 months that he's off. Give him the extra month just in case. He is the most valuable asset. And to be honest with you, per position, he's the best player that we have on this team. Nobody else that we have is the best player in their position in the world. Saliba's the only one, in my opinion.
But then surely Deschamps has to take some blame because if the injury was that bad, Saliba had no business even being in the squad in the first place. And he also ended up playing every single game except for the third place playoff. And obviously they missed him because we pumped him for 6 goals. And Mike Maignan, now people have found you out. You are overrated. That one Scudetto won't do you much good. But still, Deschamps also has to carry the can for these things. And we're also seeing a trend, Gianni, where it's not just Deschamps. Even Tuchel, who you would think would, be a little bit more sensitive to players' injuries, and apparently sent some players back from the England camp. I think he sent Rice and Saka back because he realised that they weren't fit. But surely he would have also known that if you have an unfit player who just isn't able to provide you that little bit extra, then, it's going to be a risk playing them. And for certain players, they need every single muscle in their body working in perfect order. If you're a goalkeeper, you've got your hamstrings and your calves. They are literally your lifesavers, especially when it comes to kicking. We now know that Emi Martinez played the entire World Cup with a broken finger. If he had surgery on that, he would have had to miss the World Cup. But he went on to play every single game. He had a masterclass in the final. And he was one of the few Argentina players for whom my heart broke after that day. But then players, again, international managers also we now know they have to have a duty of care. Whether it's a club manager or an international manager, I am not saying that Arteta should be absolved of any blame whatsoever because the problems originated at club level. And as I said earlier, Jim, if Jurrien Timber ends up having an unfulfilling career with Arsenal and with the Dutch national team, it's all because of Mikel Arteta. And if I were him in Jurrien's shoes, I'd sue him for whatever he's worth, or make sure that he gets nothing but trash from me in my autobiography. That guy deserves no respect. But managers also have to be a little bit smarter and say, listen, I don't care if you're one of my best players. If I don't think that you are 100% fit or will be 100% fit, I'm not picking you in the squad. And that's why Deschamps, I'm glad he's gone. he started off being a strong, ruthless manager, but ended up being weak. And this should be a warning as well to international managers as well. Don't be like your club managers. Take some proper care for your players. And if you don't, you're the ones who are going to end up, being blamed until the cows come home.
Yep, 100%. Real quick, Kwaja, I see you got to bounce, my guy. I appreciate your time. You want to shout
Big
the
up,
channel
guys.
out before you bounce?
Bless
Big
Quadra.
up, Jan.
Big up, guys.
Big up, Roger.
Big up, guys. I'm just gonna chill out. Yeah, this summer window's been a disgrace. Carl, what Carl said, it's been a disgrace. We can't even sign players. But it's okay, guys, because it's all Andre Berta's fault. When all the players that we've got put on silly wages due to Edu. Edu bought these scrubs like Havertz and the Jesuses. We put them on 280, 265. Who wants to buy average players on that money? But funny enough, we luckily sold Trossard for 17 million before Odegaard and them. It's crazy, but let's just hope that nothing goes wrong, and let's just get the Bruno G deal done, and let's just pray that Odegaard does not start. Let's just hope that Odegaard does not start against Coventry City, Aston Villa, and that, because if he does, and it's just going to be a long day for us.
Yeah. No, agreed.
Big up, guys. Have a good night.
Big up, Quadra.
Bless Quadra. Take care, man.
I just seen
Much love,
yours too, that you're gonna hop out of here. Nat, you want to shout your channel out before you bounce out? And always, I appreciate your time, my brother.
Yeah, big up Johnny, big up the rest of the panel. Always a pleasure, never a chore, as I always say. NATSTER, Natster Official on Insta and on YouTube. I probably will have a stream on Friday that will break down the transfers, this shit show of a transfer window that we've been having. There might be some news from now till then, but I'll cover all of that anyway. I done a bit of Black Ops 1 Zombies gameplay as well. I got on the channel as well.
I saw that.
Sort of side quest and all of that. I'm gonna sort of I need to change the thumbnail and a few other things, but that will be a bit more regular as well with the new ports and all that shit. Outsold Fortnite as well. Black Ops 1 and 2 ports have outsold Fortnite and shit, and they've outshone Black Ops, I think 6, maybe 6 if not 7, either way. So look, it is what it is. It's just like the rest of the world is outdoing us when it comes to player sales and just this whole transfer window. But yeah, either way, that will be what's coming up. So I'll probably have a video out on the weekend, but I'll definitely have a stream on Friday. I'll probably schedule that either on Thursday or on the day, either way. So yeah, go check that out. Make sure you sub to all these guys, Gianni, Kyle, Zir as well. Big up, and obviously big up Manny. And what's your name again, brother? Brenny, yeah, big up Brenny as well. If
yeah, Brenny has his own channel too.
You guys, you got your own channel, yeah. Like and sub to him as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Stay true to yourself, stay authentic, much love and respect, and all of that. And yeah, peace out, take care, all the best. Take it easy, guys. Much love.
Big up, man.
Cheers, Nat.
Big up, man. Take care.
Zir, my guy, how's summer been treating you?
Bro, all right, man. Taking my foot off the gas a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I've been getting back to doing content. But, bro, you need to chat to me, man. A lot's going on in your end, bro, internationally and at Arsenal. What's going on, yeah?
Oh, the Italian International is just providing the greatest drama, the soap opera that everybody's seen for the summer. That's all we're doing.
Brother, bro, this is the biggest shit show I've ever seen on planet Earth being a football fan. Bro, I'm speechless, bro. When I saw the Pirlo Russian bank company thing, I was speechless.
See, here's the thing that I don't understand, right? You're trying to become a professional sporting coach and you're tied to a betting company. Does anybody not put 2 and 2 together and not realize that that's just morally wrong? Outside of the fact that it's just wrong in general, what makes you think being a coach is good? So there's not going to, first of all, let's just cut the bullshit and I can say it. We're Italian. We bring enough stupid shit on ourselves all the time. You don't think that no one's going to say, oh, it's an Italian manager tied to a betting scandal. Like that doesn't just fit the mold.
Didn't it happen with Tonali, I think? or something like some betting.
Tonali
scandal.
got suspended for them for that year with Newcastle because of being tied to gambling and everything else. But like what Reno's saying, this guy Vergona in the Italian FA is the biggest problem. He's one of the biggest problems because he is one of the people that is continuing the political bullshit that goes on behind the scenes. You know, what people don't understand is this within Italy. The FA, within the FA, guys get paid and are skimming money off the top to regularly make sure that certain players on clubs get there because they make more money if they're coming from certain clubs. See, Inter, Juve, and Milan contribute more money to the FA than the other teams because they have the bigger budget. That's why certain players who are dog shit, who shouldn't even be on the national team, get call-ups over other players that are much better because those clubs do not provide as much money. Now, the other thing is that the fact that when you look at the situation of the biggest problem with Italy is just historically, we never pick the best team. Since 2010, there's always politics on when it comes to picking the team. Like me and Reno did a show, I think it was Monday when we did it. If you go back, Italy has not chosen the best 23-man roster since 2006. And even the team that won the World Cup, you can make the case that that's still not the best Italian team because there were certain players left off. But overall, the biggest problem is the youth has to be given opportunities. The youth players have to be given opportunities. You know, people say that there's no talent in Italy. Again, that's false. Between all the underage international tournaments, we've made 7 finals and we've won 3 of them. The U17 one that just wrapped up before the start of the World Cup, we beat France U17 and Spain. Those are the 2 countries that are producing more top-tier talent than anywhere else. So if we can beat them, this whole notion that there's no Italian talent is bullshit. The problem is that if you're 20 years old, unless you're at the level of Del Piero, you get stuck in the 2nd division for 4 years for some reason. Because
I heard about this specifically. About that specifically.
The Italians will not take a chance on their own talent. That is the single biggest problem. Again, you can't make it to 7 finals through the different age groups, win 3 of them, and then all of a sudden tell me there's no talent. But then you see the self-inflicted harm where it's like, okay, you're 19, you're not a superstar, we're going to send you to the 2nd division. And then lo and behold, they don't try to call you back till you're 24. Well, all the years that you need to be getting invested in to make you a better player are long gone. Now you're just going to be a middle-of-the-road shit player like that's happened with 80% of our talent. That's why Italy's in the situation it's in. So it's a joke. The whole thing's a fucking joke. The biggest problem that I have about the scenario, though, is Maldini packing up like a little bitch. Just because you got overruled on the Pirlo situation, they could say whatever they want about Maldini packing up and leaving. I don't agree with him doing it, but how they went about everything was wrong. First of all, I'm sorry, Pirlo should have never got the job. With all the coaches that we have, Pirlo should not have gotten the job. I'm sorry. Palladino is a young manager that plays forward-thinking football. You can go get him. Mancini, again, people can say whatever they want about Mancini. He won the Euros, and he was the one that started the initiative of changing the mentality of football in Italy. Day one, when he took over the team, he told the entire youth academy, start playing 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. We need to play more attacking football. The 90s and Catenaccio is dead. You can't do that shit no more. The game has changed too much. And just like on clockwork, right after he won the Euros, everybody undercut him and said, nope, go back to playing 3-5-2. Because the 3-5-2 has been so good for Italy. I mean, it's common sense at this point, but it is what it is with all that.
Wait, when you won the Euros, it was 4-3-3, no? You played.
It was 4-3-3, yeah.
Yeah, you played for. So what, when you played qualifiers, I believe, with the one you didn't qualify, that was what formation was that at the time?
It was same thing. He went 4-3. He went 4-3-3. But what ended up happening with Mancini is he left because Saudi offered him more money, and because
offered him 25 million, yeah.
They offered him 25 million, but again, the other part of it was that there was bullshit going on behind the scenes with the youth. Again, it's well documented. Mancini went to all the younger managers that were in the youth system and said, we need to play 4-3-3. We need to play more attacking football. Because again, we could say whatever we want. If you look at the best 23-man roster of what Italy could have potentially produced at this World Cup, When you look at some of these other teams that were there, Italy should have made a quarterfinal appearance with what we have to offer. We have better players than majority of what's been seen. And again, Gattuso's a perfect example. Gattuso got chosen, and he didn't choose his whole team. For all you guys, I just want to throw this out there because we're not coaches. We're not paid at the level of coaches, right? If you got to pick a team for 2 games to qualify for the World Cup, are you taking 4 goalkeepers?
No,
Oh, hell no.
No chance.
That's what he did. He took 4 fucking goalkeepers for 2 qualifiers.
No, that's crazy work.
That's stupid. And we all know that Donnarumma plays all the time, so I wouldn't even take 2. I mean, I would
Exactly.
take 3.
No,
Maybe
but
2
to be
would
fair,
be-
you never know if Donnarumma gets injured, so I'd say at least 2, maybe.
Yeah, two or 3 is fine. That's normally the standard of a squad that you take, but not 4. And then the best is when you look at who else was left. What has been Italy's biggest problem? Italy can't score goals. Italy can't score goals. We've never been able to score goals in these last few runs in order for us to get over the hump. So if that's the case, why are you choosing guys like Politano on the team who doesn't score goals? Berardi,
Bro, you're not relying on Retegui as well, bro. And
Retegui shouldn't have even been on the team either. He should have never made it either. I'm not a fan of him. Here, Domenico Berardi in the last 10 years has scored more goals than everybody that's played in Italy except Dybala and Ciro Immobile. Why is he not on the team? Orsolini the last 4 years is consistent, 10 goals, 8 assists. Consistent, that's his base numbers every year. How is he not chosen? But Politano, the last good year that he had was the 2021-2022 year. Why is he all of a sudden getting special treatment over these other players? It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Just briefly, Gianni, you mentioned that goal scoring has been a problem. This is a double-barreled question. A, who would you consider to be the best Italian striker you've ever seen in terms of, goal-scoring threat? It might be Christian Vieri or someone else. And if it is Christian Vieri, have you been picked for that 2006 World Cup squad? Because we all know that the poor chap had an injury and he wasn't picked for the squad, and so he missed out on earning that elusive medal. How many goals do you think Italy would have scored, and would they have absolutely dominated that World Cup?
Real quick before I answer that, I just got Kyle's message. Kyle, I see that you're probably going to be jumping off. Brother, I just wanted to say I appreciate your time, my guy. I know it's been a while since I've seen you and we talked, but I hope everything goes as swiftly and easily as possible for you, my guy. And I hope to be talking to you pretty regularly during the season, brother.
Absolutely, Gianni, 100% making the comeback.
Big up.
Everything I says, we're on the road to recovery. So look at hopefully for the new season, I'll be back on more regularly. But before I jump out, Gianni, it's always a pleasure to listen to you. I've said it before and I say it again. All the years of YouTube, I love listening to yourself and the man beside you, Manny. I think the two of you have great knowledge and insight, and I love listening to both of you, the way you speak. I think it's brilliant. And your videos, through this difficult time, I'll be tuning into your videos, listening to your content, and let me tell you, you're a part of my journey as well of getting back to full fitness. So big up to you, Gianni, Manny, Granny. I often see you there in the comment section. Big up to you, two brothers. Great to see you. And Zero,
and you as well, man.
You here for the first time as well, brother.
Big up, Kyle.
And I'd just like to say big up to the
Carl.
Big up to the chat, and I'd like to just say before I jump off, the best Italian striker that I've seen in my years of watching football, for me, will be a prime Baggio. I love Baggio. And
Divine ponytail.
Del Piero as well was top class player. And I miss the Italian football of the past. I miss the Italian teams in the World Cups. I think the World Cup is not the same for me when Italy is not in it, because I always loved watching the Italians. But we don't see players like Del Piero or Baggio or any of those great players of the past. We don't see that anymore. Even Inzaghi, I thought Inzaghi was a brilliant goal scorer as well.
Yeah.
So look, as I said to you all, lads, we could talk about all the great players of the past. Football has changed, and from me,
Toto Scilacchi, Lord rest his soul.
Yeah, Scilacchi's a good one too.
And I got the great pleasure, and I quickly said this, and then I jump. I was on holidays with the woman and we're in Spain, and I was walking down the street, and I looked over, and I saw this man holding hands with this woman walking up, and I turned to my missus, and I said to her, I think that's Gianluca Vialli. And she says to me, Gianluca Vialli, who's Gianluca Vialli? I said, a great Italian soccer player. I said, I'm going to cross over to shake his hand. Oh, leave him alone, leave him alone. She said, I had to go across. So I walked across the road, and I just said to him, Gianluca, lovely to meet you. And I put my hand out. And Gianluca Vialli shook my hand, and he gave me 5 minutes of his time. And I will never forget that. So
Yeah, he was a
may he
giant.
rest in peace.
What a
Well,
man.
listen,
What a man.
big up the assault, big up the Gianni, big up the Italians. Let's get the Italians back to where they should be. So on that note, talk to
Big
you all
up,
later.
Kyle. My
Take
guy.
care, bro.
My guy. Appreciate it, brother.
All the best.
Appreciate it, man.
You mate. Take care, bro.
Favorite Italian. You know what?
Let me look at Tony. That's a bias.
I was gonna say, is that a bias from his time at Bayern?
Yeah, it is a bias. It is a bias.
For me personally, Totti.
I see that to be fair.
Totti for
I
me.
see that. I see that.
And the reason why I'm saying Totti is because he stuck it out at Rome, and had Rome invested in him properly around him, Totti could have been even better than what he already is for me. I like Baggio. I like Baggio a lot, but I think both Del Piero and Totti are better than Baggio in my personal opinion. But I do rate Baggio very highly. I was actually going to say before Kyle said his name, I think Gianluca Vialli gets often forgotten about on how great he was, because that Juventus team in the 90s was fucking ridiculous. The other person I would say also is Roberto Mancini. People forget how great of a player Mancini was, especially at Sampdoria when him and Vialli won the Scudetto that year and nearly won in Europe as well.
What about Filippo Inzaghi?
That's right.
Inzaghi is probably the best box striker ever. That idiot is going to be offsides 9 out of 10 times. The other 10 times he's not offside, it's a goal. He just had a nose for. I hated it.
What about Vieri, though? What about Vieri, though? Because that was my question, basically. And he missed the 2006 World Cup squad.
Vieri is very good, but for me, I don't think Vieri's in the same bracket as Baggio, Del Piero, and Totti. I think he's the next one down. I think Vieri, as much as I loved Vieri, the problem that I had with Vieri is how are you and Ronaldo number 9 the front line of Inter and you can't win anything? That's where for me, like the thing with Vieri comes into question, because it's like, okay, you were fantastic at your with Atletico, you were decent at Milan, but you were already starting to crumble. At Inter, he was unbelievable, but they just never won. And it's when you think of the old Inter team, you got Vieri, you have Ronaldo Phenomenal, you had. Do you guys remember Zamorano? Zamorano was on that team.
Ivan Zamorano.
Zamorano was on that team, and also one of my favorite players growing up, Recoba, was on that team. How the hell is that? How the hell is that your front 4 rotation and you don't win a Scudetto?
And was Javier Zanetti a part of that team too?
Yes.
Was Javier Zanetti also?
Yeah. Zanetti was on that team. Materazzi was on that team. If you remember, Dennis Bergkamp couldn't even break into that team. That's why he left Inter. He won the Europa League with Inter and then bounced because of how much talent was on that team. Even who was the Nigerian striker that went to Newcastle?
Nwankwo Kanu.
No,
Obafemi Martins.
Obafemi Martins was on that Inter team too.
Yeah.
And then you ended up getting the likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Now, for me, the striker that had the most talent that never lived up to it was Balotelli. If Balotelli would have had a level head, he would have been by far the best. Because skill-wise, what he was doing at 16 was ridiculous. He was making top-tier Italian defenders look like idiots at 16.
Gianni, don't talk to me about Balotelli. As an England fan, I still remember 2014. Daniel Sturridge scored, but then it had to be that man Balotelli. And then against Uruguay, it was the same thing. We had Rooney scoring for us, and then that jackass Luis Suarez, who I absolutely despised. And then he went on to take a bite out of Giorgio Chiellini. he probably thought that Cellini was chili tortellini.
Bro, when I think of Balotelli, I think of when he flexed after scoring against Germany, bro. That's the first thing
Oh
I think.
yeah, that strike against Neuer. Yeah, the top. Yeah,
Yeah, I think of that, man.
Highbury. He is probably my favorite Italian player to watch. With Zola with the ball, I don't know if there's another Italian player that's better on the ball than Zola.
Yeah,
And I
he
love
was
Totti and Del Piero, but dribbling ability, I don't know if there's an Italian player better than Zola. Now, old school wise, if you want to look up a great old school Italian player, look up Gianni Rivera from the 60s and 70s. Gianni Rivera was Totti, Del Piero, Zola, and Baggio wrapped up into one. He was already playing for AC Milan at 15 in the 60s.
Oh wow.
Gianni Rivera was ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Were you named after him, Gianni?
Yes, that was my dad's favorite player.
Okay.
You
It's
lucky
actually-
bastard.
Now, another one to throw out there is Giuseppe Signori. Signori was a stone cold killer striker with Lazio back in the day as well. He was really good. Again, Signori never got the opportunity at the national team. Another guy that got snubbed because he played on Lazio and not Inter, Juve, or Milan. Same with do you guys remember the
Zola,
striker?
don't forget.
Zola as well, but do you also remember Vincenzo Montella at Rome?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
He never
Oh
got-
yeah.
He
That's
never
right.
got the opportunity because of the same shit, because of the politics. So that's the
He was
same. That's the
great.
same thing. So it's years upon this stuff. But Zir, what did you? I want to get an outsider's perspective. What did you make about the whole Vinny Jr. to Arsenal that was going on? Were you like a lot of these other guys where they were panicking if Vinny went to Arsenal?
Bro, to be honest, I looked at it and I'm like, I would not be shocked if it happened or didn't happen. Because obviously you have to look at it in the Real Madrid perspective, not just Arsenal one. And I thought Real Madrid, they have this contract talks with Vinny. Is Vinny gonna take the wages that Perez give him? Probably not, because he wanted, Mbappe money or something. So I'm like, you know what, low-key Arsenal, it's possible. I couldn't even believe I was thinking it at the time. But then I find out today through Northside Stream, funny enough, that apparently it's not happening anymore. And all of a sudden, like, huh? I thought Arsenal's board approved everything on all levels. That's apparently what Ornstein said. So if that's the case, why didn't you just put the money down?
Because I don't think we have the money. I think this is the biggest smokescreen there is.
I don't know, bro. There's no way you have no money, bro. There's no way.
Bro, here's the problem. If you look at our recent transfer windows with how much money we've spent, there's not much money coming in. So any type of record revenue that we have are going back to pay for old shit. If you look at last year, for example, we spent nearly 290 million euros and we only made 13 million on transfers. And we took losses on top of the 13 million. So, like, for instance, Sambi Lakonga that went to Hamburg, we sold him for 300,000. We didn't even get $1 million for him. We spent 17.5 million on him. So you took that much of a loss. And it's the same thing going down the line with a lot of other players. Plus, our salaries are through the roof. Our base team salary is 191 million. Because we won the Premier League and a lot of bonuses were handed out, our salaries for the year go up from 191 million to nearly 240 million. So
bonuses.
When you look at all the money that you're spending on salary and then everything else, you're still running a loss at the end of the day, which is what we have to rectify, which is part of the problem. We have 7 players on 200,000 or more a week. And out of our 27-man roster, 16 out of the 27 are being paid over 100,000. And David Raya and Timber are both not even on 100,000, and we have to re-sign them coming up.
No shit.
So by the standard of what everybody else is going to get paid, Raya and Timber are going to be 2 more added into their 200,000 bracket.
Yeah.
Real quick, Brenny, I just got your message, my guy. Appreciate your time. You're always welcome to hop on when I have these shows, brother. It was a pleasure finally meeting you. Do you want to shout out your channel before you bounce, bro?
100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you can find me on my channel, Brenny K 74. Been going for almost a year. I'm going to be probably doing something on the 3rd of August, around the 2nd, 3rd of August to celebrate my 1-year anniversary. So all of you, welcome to jump on. I'll probably do a good few hours and that. And big up to Money as well. He's been on my channel before, and we have been in chats together and everything else. And yeah, so I'm 2 off 200. So yeah, but thanks for having me on, and love to you legends, man.
Big up, Brenny.
And then
Big up, my guy. Have a blessed rest of your night, my guy. I appreciate your time.
Zia Talks, nice to meet you,
go
bro.
to sleep. It's late for you.
Hit it, man. All right.
Up,
take care, man. I'm out. All the best.
Big up, my
Take
guy.
care.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
See you,
Zir,
man.
what do you think for the upcoming season as far as like with Champions League coming up? Do you see Bayern making a bigger run at the Champions League? What do you think about Europe coming up this year?
I mean, I would expect us to go and win it, bro. I can't lie. I'm setting a higher expectation next season, to be quite frank and honest, because I've seen what we can do. My only thing, bro, is I feel like we desperately need a center back, bro.
Yeah, you do.
We desperately need a center back. Like, it's all good that we got Brown getting Slaybari. We got that new NDI youngster from Senegal, who was already with us, I think, on loan, and now we made it permanent, which is why we're not going for a midfielder. I don't know if I agree with that or not, which is why, low-key, I don't mind keeping Palini if that's the case.
Mhm.
But then again, like, here's the thing for me. Like, I look at us, and again, all of this is because we're cheapskates. We like to protect our funds. Bro, I'm not fucking kidding, bro. It's getting annoying, bro. It's like, when you have so much fucking money, but you don't want to spend. Bro, put it this way, they act like Arab businessmen dads, man. I can't be fucking asked, bro. Like, all I ask is, bro, just spend a bit, bro. Even if it was 20, 30 million for a player, just spend it. I don't give a fuck, bro. But they want to sell to buy. So they want to sell the Palinias. They want to sell the Sasha Bowies. They want to sell, which fine. If you want to offload them, cool. Make sure you buy somebody. And do I trust these men to buy someone? No. Thankfully, Luis Diaz isn't going to Al Hilal. And I know it's shocking coming from Al Hilal fan, yeah. But we don't have any other left winger, bro, to be quite frank and honest. And I don't trust us to go get Vinny. And neither do I want a fucking Vinicius Jr., to be honest. Because I think Vinicius Jr. because I think he'd cause a rift in the fucking locker room, bro. I don't trust. Bro, could you imagine Vinny having interaction with a Joshua Kimmich, for example? No fucking thank you. No fucking thank you. And then company is gonna side with Vinny because of the whole incident that happened in the Benfica game. Yeah, come on now. So it's these things. I don't want to take that chance. I'd rather Luis Diaz, who's already happy at Bayern, everyone's happy with him, just keep him there. He's doing good. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather that than just get Vinny, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then what? You're gonna try to pay him 600 million? Come on, we're not gonna do that, bro. The most we're paying is Harry Kane, like 480 a week.
Do you think? I think your guys' offense is going to be insane next year between Luis Diaz, Harry Kane, Sybari, and Olise. I think you guys are going to be insane going forward. I honestly think you need to get a center back and another midfielder, and I think you guys are good to go. Do you think if you guys don't say you guys win a double this year, but you don't get the champions, you don't win the Champions League, do you think Company's going to be on thin ice, or do you think if he doesn't?
I'm not gonna lie. I might, depending on the situation, I might look at him like that.
Okay, because you and me have had talks, and it's the same feeling around Pep Guardiola. You were fantastic within Germany, but you never won in Europe, which is the standard of Bayern Munich.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying. If remember back then, I'm sure Pep wasn't, Pep was somewhat appreciated, but he wasn't as appreciated as he was at Barca or Man City because he didn't win the Champions League. So, yeah, I would expect the same energy for Company. I'm not going to bullshit. I would expect the same energy. But will that happen? I don't know. I mean, the generation, who the hell knows? But you get my point. So, yeah, listen, obviously, I'm going to trust Company this season. I'm not going to be like, oh, Company, blah, bullshit. He won me with double like I asked. However, I better see a treble next season, bro. And I mean actual treble, not domestic one. So basically, domestic treble / the actual treble, so quad. You get me?
Would Company be okay if he won just the Bundesliga and the Champions League, or do you think there would still be shade if he didn't win?
No,
the
I think he'll be
Buckle?
okay because he actually then got us over the line in the Champions League on top of winning the league. To be fair,
Got it.
yeah, I think
But then,
I think
I
the
mean,
main thing is
he would-
Champions League.
But then he'd still not really compare that favorably to someone like, I believe it was Hansi Flick who won you a treble, right?
Yeah, Hansi Flick and Jupp Heynckes both did it.
Yeah, Hansi Flick and Heinkes.
Jupp Heynckes as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
yeah,
my
Jupp
guy.
Heynckes.
I love Heinkes.
Also won the Champions League with Real Madrid, and yet people don't even talk about how good a manager he is.
Oh,
You know what?
Heinkes is always disrespected as far as top managers. A lot of people forget how fucking great he
Bro,
is.
I've said it. He's probably top 5 of all time for me.
He's up there. He definitely makes an argument for it. He
I
definitely
don't
makes
care
an
what
argument
anyone
for
tells me, bro, because it's not even just with Bayern, with Real Madrid. So
Mm-hmm. And you know what the other thing is? People forget how fucking good of a player he was. He was a stud when he played back in the day, too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. All these German teams, they had. I would tell you right now that many of those players right now would walk into the current shambles as the German national team right now. And
Let-
let's say
that-
one more question.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned
That's
that
an
because for me,
understatement,
I
bro.
think
That's-
Germany's walking into a bigger problem than what Italy has. Italy has at
Oh,
least
you
talent.
bet.
Italy at least is continuing to put out talent. Our problem is the fact that we don't fucking allow the talent to flourish. Germany, I'm not seeing any young talent unless I'm just missing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, you know
That's
you know
it.
with the Germany team. The Germany team, I think the Musiala and Wirtz are supposed to be the guys, but the problem is one's shying from the moment and the other one is injured, bro. Like he's starting to be injury prone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If obviously there's Leonard Carr, but he got injured before the World Cup. That's why we didn't see him in the tournament. And then Nagelsmann, this absolute fucking idiot, didn't even bring Saeed El Mallam. What
He
a fuck.
sucks. He sucks as a manager. I'm not a believer in Nagelsmann.
Bro, this guy, bro, you know what the problem with Nagelsmann is, yeah? The problem with Nagelsmann, and I'm starting to see why the Bayern board was against this guy. It's
They
he
got
treats,
mad.
and I gave him benefit of the doubt at the time, bro. He treats his team like scientific labs, bro.
He's the German version of Arteta.
He
He's the
treats
German
his-
version
Bro,
of
I'll argue, bro. I don't know about as much or as who's worse than the other, but what I'll tell you is, bro, he thinks it's a fucking scientific lab, motherfucker. It's a fucking sport called football, bro. Like, what are we doing? Bro,
Yeah,
you know,
players
against
are
who was Ecuador, I think I saw Leroy Sané up top. I'm seeing Undav on the wing, and I'm seeing Maximilian fucking Bayer on wing back. Why? Like, what are we doing here, bro? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's just fucking ridiculous. And we're relying on bums like Sané again. You know, we're fucking relying on bum Netska, which, by the way, looks like he's going to the Serie A. So enjoy watching him week in and week out, Gianni. You know what I'm saying?
So you won't
Bum
miss. I was actually going to ask you about
That's-
Goretzka. You're not going to miss him, are you, Yusuf?
Oh, I mean, listen, thank you for what you've done, but
Yeah.
2026, pack it up, bro. Pack it up. And by the way, see with this guy as well in the penalty shootout. He's the fucking biggest pussy I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Man didn't have the balls to take a pen and made fucking Todd go get it. Take it. He didn't make it. You know what I mean? Todd took the initiative. Bro, I'm not going to lie. That guy pisses me off nowadays, man. Now, what happened to the Goretzka of the early years? I have no fucking idea. No fucking idea.
Real quick, Eddie, I don't know if anybody wants Bastoni with the bullshit he's
El
going
Hilal.
through right
El
now.
Hilal looks like they want. Inzaghi wants him.
That'll probably be his best bet with the nonsense he put himself into in fucking Italy with Inter. He's a fucking idiot, dude. He's a fucking idiot. This kid needs to get bitch slapped 8 ways to Sunday.
He's the one that actually cost you the World Cup when you think about it.
No, Gattuso did, because in what world is Riccardo Calafiori better at playing Bastoni in Bastoni's position?
Oh, I have no idea.
Bastoni is not a last man. He plays that left-handed side center back because he can go in and out with DeMarco because of his
I've
ability
said
to
this
go
to
forward.
people before that don't know about Bastoni. I've said this because I remember I was chatting to an Inter fan before our game against them in a preview, and he was saying the role that Bastoni played under Inzaghi was because he plays in a left-sided center back.
Yep.
He plays like a left back technically.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But people think he's an actual center back, which is why I don't think he would work in a back four. I'm telling you now, if Hilal get Bastoni, I better see like a back three then. Or
I think he could work in a back four. I think the problem is when you look at the other players that they've tried to put him with, they're not at the same quality that he is. You know, like for instance, you moved him to the back line. We tried playing that 3-5-2 with Gattuso. If you're going to play him, like if you're going to pick Bastoni, he should have been the left-sided center back. You should have started Gatti, because Gatti at Juventus is used to playing the middle of the three center backs for Juve, and he's pretty damn good at it. Now in a back four, you could be right. I just think that Mancini, if you look at Gianluca Mancini from Rome, I don't know if he's the one that can play in a back line of four. Again, I think it's Gatti. Gatti and Bastoni for me would be the center back pairing. But obviously with this shit that went on now that's leaked out about all the stupid shit that's gone on with him, I don't want him at the national team level unless he's cleared. If he's not cleared and he gets caught that he was fucking around with underage girls and shit, no, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Oh, Bastoni.
Yeah.
I actually news about that. Oh, fuck.
No, so Bastoni apparently got caught. Messages got leaked that he was basically doing like phone sex with some chick, and they haven't confirmed if she was underage or not. But he had her saying racial shit over the phone, and he was beating off to it. It's like, dude, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, it's mad then.
How you getting paid 200,000 euros a week, and you want to do stupid shit like this?
That's madness.
He's a nut. He's a nut.
Yeah.
Oh, we got we got Besiktas. Listen, you got Vincenzo Italiano now as the manager. I expect Besiktas to do pretty damn good this year with him at the helm.
I have a Besiktas shirt, man. I may be supporting Besiktas, bro. Come on, Besiktas. I paid a visit.
Big up Willinho every single time.
Big up Willinho, man. Yeah, I responded in the chat.
It's gonna be freaking. My grievances, my owners and fan base has no standards. At least LFC fans do. I hate to say Arne Slot is better than Arteta. To be honest, I dislike both. Lord help. Listen, man, there's a lot of managers better than Arteta. The problem is he got over the line, and now we got to wait and see what happens this year. But with all the injuries we have, I think there's going to be there might be a rude awakening this year for Arsenal fans with what could be coming down the pipe. Because I don't think. Yeah, I don't think the season's a foregone conclusion just yet.
You think you get a loan signing for a left winger now because of all this bullshit?
Brother, I do not want Rashford anywhere near this fucking club because that's what people are talking about. I do not want him anywhere near this club. He does not. Brother, Marcus Rashford walks in tied with Bukayo Saka as the highest paid player at Arsenal. Why?
On loan, man.
Why?
You know?
On loan. On loan, he's walking in just as much paid as Bukayo Saka. I don't want him anywhere near the club. I don't want him anywhere near the club. I would rather take a chance on younger players from around the leagues to look at than Rashford. I'm done with Rashford, man. I'm done. The jig is up. You need to leave Manchester United because clearly the pressures of being the homegrown talent over there are too much for him. It's time to go. Go somewhere else. If you want to go to Italy, go to Italy, but not coming to Arsenal. You don't resurrect your career coming to Arsenal. I'm not. It's just not for me. It's just not for me.
Yeah, man.
Do you watch WWE? Man, I haven't watched. Well, I'll be honest with you. I stopped watching wrestling like 2012, 2013. I haven't.
Oh, PG era. You stopped.
Yeah. I stopped with all that, and now my boy, my favorite guy growing up was The Undertaker. Him being retired, I don't know if I can watch wrestling anymore without him being there. But
hey, listen, big up to my GOAT, man. That's my GOAT.
My man. The Undertaker and the NWO were the two things that I loved watching wrestling.
Yeah, man, that's my GOAT, man. You know, I mean, that streak is better than anything anyone has ever done, bro. And I'll down the hill.
Facts. If Prime Rashford was if Prime Ashford if Prime it was in his era, would you take him? No. Because the thing is with this, again, I don't know if when Rashford was in his prime, Rashford I don't think would fit with the project with the way Arteta plays, because it's all this, we defend as a team and we attack as a team. You got to learn to be able to allow your top players to be able to put their own emphasis in the game. You know, the way you saw Liverpool win the league 2 years ago, when Slot told Salah, just stay further up the pitch, everybody else will do the work. Arteta's not that type of a manager. Manny said it earlier when we were talking about the Vinicius Jr. He would try to make Vinicius Jr. a left back. He would try to have Vinicius Jr. playing defense when you know Vinny's not going to do that. So I don't know. Me personally, I don't. That's why I asked the question. I don't know if superstars actually fit with how Arteta's brand of football is. I really don't know that. Because if you look at it, our highest profile player when you want to talk about a superstar is Saliba. Superstar defenders will work. I don't know about midfielders and attackers, in my personal opinion. I still can't believe that, to be fair. How did Arteta not beat Slot? Yeah, I don't know how that didn't happen. I heard Jesse Lingard is a young project. Abhijit, you're fucking hysterical. Jesse Lingard is a young prospect. Get the fuck out of here. Liam Connor goes 90s golden era. Listen, man, that's when I was watching. That's when I was watching wrestling like that. Like that fucking the New Age Outlaws, fucking Triple H's old days, Stone Cold, The Rock. Those were the days of wrestling I remember. I stopped watching once it hit that PG era. I was kind of like,
I don't blame you, to be honest. Even that was when I actually low-key started because I was younger. But yeah, I get you. Yeah, I get you, to be fair. I actually think it was getting a bit better when they changed management because Vince retired, and then it went back to shit because TK just fucked everything over.
Really?
So yeah. Typical, but
yeah.
It is what it is.
I'll go back and watch. I'll go back and watch some classic matches and stuff, like just to watch it because I haven't seen it in a long time. Because I did like it when I was a kid. I think the last wrestling match I saw is. Do you remember the triple threat tag team TLC between the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys?
Yeah, I know. I've seen the match before when I first. Yeah, the Mania. Is the Mania?
The Mania and the SummerSlam one. They did two. It was awesome. Both of them.
Yeah. Both, yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, that was the old
Edge Christian and Hardy's. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, wow. That was that. Like, I think that's the last match that I watched, and I probably said it's about a year ago the last time I watched it, because I'll watch some of the older shit just to reignite and just watch it a little bit. Like I'll watch the old WCW stuff and the WWF before it became the WWE, but the more recent stuff I fell off on it. The thing is, Arteta would see Rashford and Sancho as good Prem experienced players, but not look at players that will actually get you caught. Brother Shabazz, I don't want to see Rashford or Jadon Sancho at this damn club. Neither one of them. Neither one of them. Macho Man Randy Savage. Macho Man was cool. The storyline of the old WWF is untouchable. Yep. Facts. Jessica would love to hear this. Edge was your favorite wrestler. That's a shout. I don't hear too many people saying Edge was their favorite wrestler. That's a shout, Jim.
You know what it is with Edge? I feel like with Edge, because he retired so early, like I remember I became a fan instantly, he then retired. I think that's why. But yeah, if you watch for a long time, you probably would have him as one of your. When he came back, to be fair, in 2020, he still put out some good matches. So I have to give him credit, and he still is in AEW. So fair play.
He's still wrestling.
He retired and he came back in 2020, and he's still wrestling to this day. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think of Adeyemi? Willinho, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what the hell Barcelona's doing signing Anthony Gordon and Adeyemi. I don't get it. I don't get it.
He's trash.
I'm open with him being sold. That means Dortmund's going to work on Inacio because he's a stud.
Well, Inacio, wait, which Inacio are you on about?
Samuele Inacio, the 17-year-old Italian kid that they got. He should be turning 18 now. He's a Dortmund. Yeah. He was one of the standouts. Inacio was one of the standouts for the U17 Italy team that won the under-17 title. I think it was the under-17 Euros. He's left-footed, very good dribbling. He's one of the good young talents that Italy has coming up. And I'm happy that he's at Dortmund because, like I said, the problem with Italy is we don't develop our talent. You'd have never thought you'd hear the day where Italians need to leave Italy to develop so that they can reach the heights that they're supposed to reach. Shabazz, that's a shout. Sting was my guy too. I did like Sting, especially the Crow Sting.
I just saw him. Did he come off the bench when we won 3-2? I need to double check this.
Possibly.
He must.
Texas.
Yeah, bro. He come off the bench in the 75th minute against us.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it right now. He come off the bench against us when we won 3-2. At that time, I think it was like 2-2 still. Oh no, it was immediately before Svensson scored the equalizer.
Okay. No, Inacio's he's a good young talent. He looks to be one of the serious young talents.
Yeah, I need to have a look at him more. I'm not gonna act like I know everything too much about him.
Tigre, Rob Van Dam was my guy. What they did to him just because he smoked weed was BS. I loved Rob Van Dam.
Bro, that guy when he did ECW was fucking crazy, by the way.
Oh, I love that high flying shit. Those high flyers were those high flyers make the fucking.
Oh, there's more awesome now than there ever was, by the way, for your information.
Really?
There's more technicians and high flyers now than ever before. You know what it is, bro? You know what it is, bro, with wrestling? Wrestling nowadays, yeah. I've said this so many times to people that I talk to people about wrestling. Like, there's more talented wrestlers than before. Because let's be honest, back then it was more like, can you cut a promo? Can you be a bit more extreme than the other guy? You know what I mean? And it wasn't really too focused on wrestling. Now, there's so much talent, not just WWE, even in other promotions, AEW, TNA. You got even what's that? The Japanese show, bro. Mm-hmm. New Japan World Wrestling, for example. There's bare talent that now literally, like, a lot of these companies, barring WWE, unfortunately, they actually focus on the wrestling a lot. So you see a lot of top matches and other promotions. In WWE, they get somewhat limited. They're more focused on like storytelling and stuff, even though they don't tell good stories as much anymore. I'm not gonna lie, but you get the point. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's talent. It's just if you're in WWE, Ring of Honor is but Ring of Honor is not the same as it used to be, though. Ring of Honor back then was much more. Now it's just a side chick to fucking AEW. You know what I mean? Yeah. I personally think there's bare talent. Just if you're in WWE, you're not gonna get as utilized as you are in other promotions. That's what it is.
Yeah. Sting was WCW. He made that one little thing into the WWE, but they fucked that all up. I saw that. But yeah, they did. Yeah, that's I forget. Sabu was the one that was with him that got fired when he got caught with.
He was in ECW, wasn't he? Or WCW?
Yeah, they went out. They went out for. They were the ones that got caught when they got pulled over with the weed right after he won. That's why they fired the both of them, because that was when they were trying to rejuvenate the old ECW again, and then they turned it into a bullshit version of it where they weren't even doing like the extreme stuff like how ECW was. I don't know who this Obafemi is.
I just put him. That's why I saw his chat, so I put this Obafemi, bro. He's
is he newer?
Yeah. He's a Nigerian star in the making, man.
Oh, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Abhijit, listen, the bikini contest, the chicks that were in WWE back in the day are goated. They are goated.
Here we fucking go. See, this is what I mean. This wasn't about wrestling back in the day.
They are goated. First of all, she's still fine to this day as that Trish Stratus. She's still hot.
Oh, yeah. For someone that's old, what the?
She's still hot. I would wear her ass as a hat.
Okay. Pause. Hey, listen, that's mad.
Yeah, a little
That's
too
a
risque
very-
for me, and fellas, I've never been a fan of wrestling, either WCW or WWF or WWE. Never really could get head or tail around that, to be brutally honest with you. Give me the Olympic
That's a
variation
wear as a hat.
any day.
No.
Give me the Olympic version any day. But anyway,
Yeah.
Johnny, I am getting a little bit bushed myself. It's quite late in my neck of the woods, so I'm gonna,
Yeah,
shoot. But
I'm
listen,
gonna wrap up. I'm gonna wrap up
Yeah.
too, because
Right.
we've done 350. We've almost done 4 hours. I didn't think I was gonna go this long, but I appreciate both your guys' time. Manny, you wanna say your closing stuff?
well, there's really nothing much to say except all I will say is I will wish the Italian team nothing but the best as they try to reclaim former glory. I will say though that with Mancini coming back, Gianni, I just hope that the Italian FA and the fans will be a little bit patient, because I think you did mention that there is a great deal of youth talent, and obviously there will be, but Mancini now has to have the freedom to completely stamp everything and stamp his own mark on the team, and he definitely has to be given the confidence to lead the team up until the 2030 World Cup. That really should be the bust thing for Italy, because if they don't qualify for that, then it may be a long time before you even get to host a World Cup. And as people have said, a World Cup without Italy is a World Cup which is missing something. Whether it's seeing the team play or hearing Inna di Mameli, one of the finest national anthems you will ever hear in terms of how it's played and how it's sung with gusto. You've got to make sure you get back to that as soon as possible, and I wish you good luck with that. As Arsenal fans, of course, we've talked so much about the transfer window, but listen, we all know that, as I said, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Facts.
I don't know if we will ever see some change really anytime soon, unless things really take a turn for the worse. And as I said, I don't want to see us having a huge crash dive, but when things become so unsustainable, and I think it was mentioned that there was a Turkish club that won the Turkish league, Super League, but the next season, because the football was so horrible, I think they sacked the manager. I don't remember who was that.
I don't think there was Trabzonspor. Was that Besiktas that did that in the past?
It might have been. I don't remember. But it's another reminder that, we cannot allow the same status quo to continue. And all of these fans who are still, yapping on about how we're the best team in the league, players should want to join us. We're on the right track because we've reached the Champions League final and also won the league. You guys need to get your heads out of your backsides and put them back on your neck where they belong and just see everything for what it is the way we do. And hopefully we have to come to, sort of an understanding that we want what's best for the club, but things cannot continue the way they're doing. So yeah, brother, I wish your teams, Bayern, Saudi, and Morocco, all the very best of luck. And also Al Hilal, don't forget. I hope you all have good seasons, and I'll be looking to see how you do in the Champions League this season. If we play you again, it's going to be definitely a classic, and I'm sure Vincent Kompany will have a lot of tricks up his sleeve. Gentlemen, as always, it's a pleasure. I've got to go and sleep. Zia, hope to see you again. Masalama. Take care of yourself. And as always, Gianni, grazie mille, che Dio ti benedica. See you all soon. Peace.
Big up, Manny. Always appreciate it. Zero, you want to shout your channel before we bounce, brother? And I appreciate you hopping on, my guy, as always.
Of course, man. I mean, the huge Zero Talks FCB, Bayern channel, Zero Talks Football, everything else, including Serie D League, to be fair, because I don't think, if I mentioned it, you guys wouldn't know. Now you do. And Zero Talks Wrestling, I'll be back to it. We're doing SummerSlam, so stay tuned for that. There you go, man. Big up to you every single time, Gianni, for having me and everyone else on. And yeah, man, long may this continue for you, man. Shall you grow?
Yeah, man. Hope we're growing. We're growing. I had to take a little bit of this summer off, but it is what it is. We're back and gonna be rocking and rolling again this year coming into it, and we'll see what ends up happening. Arsenal's got me a little nervous coming in here with some of this stupid shit that we're doing because we're not signing players, but it is what it is. It's always the lovely drama that goes on with Arsenal. So, but big up to everybody that stopped by for the conversation today. Shabazz, Flavin, Highbury Social, Tigre, everybody that stopped in. Big up to Kyle Walsh, Brenny, Nat, Quaja, and everybody else that jumped onto the stream, Chike as well. We will be back later in the week. I don't know yet if it's going to be Thursday or Friday, but we will be having another chat. And then I believe Monday next week, we will be having a preview to the Serie A so far with what's been going on with transfers and diving more into the updated situation with game fixing scandals and everything else going on in Italy like we always do. So, but big up to everybody. Appreciate everybody's time. Hope everybody has a blessed night. And yeah, we'll see you guys later at the next one.